however you're watching us. A warm welcome to you to Healthy Morning here on Hstv, proudly brought to you by Prudential Life Insurance Ghana. Always listening, always understanding. This is Healthy Morning here on Hstv. My name is Stephanie Ejojina Manyana, and I'm here with my super co-host William Diego Pakabeni. You know how happy we are when it's Friday, so we call it finally. Yeah, finally Friday's here.
Why are you looking into your happiness?
I know you're happy, it's just that you hide it. But
the other one, yeah, I'm only happy because it's Friday. It's my
Thank you. I'm also happy month. It's Friday.
It's day month.
Me too, I'm happy it's Friday.
I'm a Friday born, so like I'm happy because Friday.
I'm equally happy because it's Friday.
Because you know the things you're going to do from
what am I going to do
tonight to Sunday.
What am I going to do?
We all know what you're going to do.
What am I going to do?
Especially when you told us you're in love.
My dad is watching.
Yeah, I know he watch. Mr. Yana, if me adego, Vasia.
You know, yesterday around 8 p.m., my mom called. I answered the call and she said, "Share seats."
Oh,
she knows I don't take oats. She knows I don't take oats. So she was like, how was it? Were you okay? I'm like, oh, Mom, fine. I was able to take more of which was the mango pie smoothie. Okay. She said, oh, okay, share seeds. You are sharing yourself. She really mentioned that.
Anyways, guess what? There's a lot of things trending today. Started yesterday. So Fancy was trending. Fancy 22 was trending. What's her name? As our own Tracy Boachi and Frank Ntiamwa, they got hooked up. Yeah. I saw our own PSA there, very nicely dressed. She performed also at the event. And I was thinking that was what is going to trend out to the rest of the day. Then boom, in the evening, after 8 p.m., the presidency sends a letter circulating that Dom Kwabena MP, who also doubles as a gender and social protection minister, has been cleared, dismissed. And substantively, Cecilia Hinedapa, who is the Minister of Sanitation, is taking over. She was actually holding fort prior to the dismissal. So now she's hanging in the loose. Prior to this also, in Parliament, that was yesterday, they had debated on this as to whether they should go ahead and make her seat vacant or not.
Yes, because she was giving problems to the majority. Because she's not there to, be part of them, to make them their majority. So
so currently they are like 136 as against them two being 135 because also one of them is also out, Jachi Kwesen. He's also been battling court cases and all that. So then the Speaker of Parliament said he went to see the old lady. The old lady says that he should wait till when they come back in October before. So we're waiting till October. Then there will be a declaration as to whether to declare it vacant or not. Then boom, he said she's been sacked. Well, most people are excited about this because other people are saying it's long overdue. This should have been done long time ago. I don't know why. Since started October, Don Quebec say, if you're naturally moving, take over the position here. I don't know how. Anyways, long and short of it all is she's now off. But another story that is trending. Remember, we did some story B that said that an EPL player has gone to rape somebody and it's being covered up and all those things. Yesterday, it erupted its ugly head again. One lady is purporting to say that our very own Thomas Partey has raped her not once, but twice. And so when I saw the post, it was on Twitter actually, that people were sharing, and I was wondering, so why do you allow yourself to be raped twice? If he did the first one, fool me once is on me, it's on you rather, but fool me twice, it should be on me. Why should that happen in the first place? And the post she put out that I'm looking for, I want to read just a little bit of it that she's talking about. It doesn't really. A lot of people are saying that it's one of those things. Even Ronaldo has been accused of rape before. Neymar has also been accused of rape, and so whatever this thing is just an attempt to just make him feel like one of those things. People are also saying that she's the same person who actually made Thomas Partey change from Christianity to now going to Tuba, and now he's a Muslim. So this is the post she put out. Thomas Partey is a serial rapist who has got lucky because the date he decided to rape me whilst we were on holiday together was 10 days before UK law changed, allowing UK police forces jurisdiction over crimes committed outside the UK. So he gets off the hook. So it was just 10 days. Before that. And then she comes back to say something again. This means that the second incident of rape that he committed against me outside the UK is now not eligible for charges. not because he's innocent, not because there isn't enough evidence, but because I was raped 10 days before the legislation that would have put him in prison changed.
Wow.
So why the second incident?
Yeah. Because we never heard anything after the first
we
incident.
First one. What's I don't want to come away with the second time? I mean, doesn't even make sense at all.
Nobody calls for rape, right?
Exactly.
So when it happens to you the first time, it's like,
why didn't you report it? And then you went in again. He did it to you the second time.
No, if you say he went in again, rape is rape. You don't go in for rape.
No, why do you even go to the person in the first place? You're with him, he raped you. Why do you even get close to him again and then be alone together? Does it even make sense at all? I don't get it, honestly. The first one that happened, go and report.
Okay.
You didn't report it, you kept quiet. You went again. Not the year. Then you're not coming to tell us that it was 10 days after the UK lifted the ban or whatever and crimes committed 10 days. I mean, to me, it doesn't matter, honestly. I wouldn't be surprised. It's one of those things that these white girls do to the footballers just to get money, or even to our black brothers. Wait, Senegal guy, no? No, he's nothing. And some of these things happen to our black brothers out there who are playing their trade in the football fraternity. And she's accusing people that she intentionally blocked other tweets that she posted out, intentionally blocked all the football people because they'll come and defend him, and they intentionally save their own because of the kind of money they are making for their respective clubs and all that. So, Charlie, she's talking too much.
Really?
I'm beginning to suspect that it's just a ploy to.
I'm beginning to wrap my mind around it because, sometimes when you have a relationship with someone, maybe you think that he's done it the first time. You feel that when he opens up,
a relationship, so
not even relationship, like a love relationship. Maybe you are that close. You are good friends. You are when it happens for the first time, sometimes you think that maybe he has realized that what he did was wrong. He pours out his heart and then, begs you for forgiveness and all of that. So sometimes you may think that, it may not happen again.
Madam,
you get it.
I know you're close, so Yamin Pengu, Miripu, but some extra catch me say, oh, yes, I'm got to baby, I got to and I'm here. But not at all. Why would want somebody do that? Oh, boy, trying to. Anyways, we have other interesting stories to talk about today on Matters Horizon. There's a lot, Marburg virus, we're hearing that about 100 people have also been declared free, and then 81 others have also been quarantined, sort of, because they are potential. And then also there are other stories that has to do with the political scene, where we are told that the MPP are now going to celebrate their 30th anniversary, so they did a launch. The launch, conspicuously missing all the old executives. They decided not to show up. Whatever reasons, they know best. Still in the MPP arena and governance, we are told that they reviewed the actual budgets they intended to get with respect to the e-levy. Now they've done some downgrading. Now everything they've downgraded everything. The fiscal deficit has downgraded. The growth has been downgraded. The BI downgrading. Because the BI wanted downgrading and the bad. So now we are going to look for 611 million instead of the initial 6.9 billion targets that we had for the e-levy. So yeah, and many more.
That's a lot.
Yeah, there's a lot of downgrading.
And many more.
1.5, scientists are 0.5. A lot of economists are asking you to do that. It's just we are 0.5. A lot of people will do it and put a cap to it, like the telcos are doing. If you are doing anything less than 1,000 cedis, you pay 0.7%. And then if you are doing 1,000 and above, like 1%, something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's on to them. Unfortunately, say what do you do? What are you going to do? And then what you are doing. So you just let them be. And then try and safeguard yourself. Do everything to protect yourself from being part of what they are doing or having the repercussions of what they do. You understand? There's a guy who doing contribution. Say pass it or tinfa. But a brew baby. Or so by pet ways and means or this kind of baby here. Pass over a levy for just 200 cities on here. 200 go to Yanka. you will actually pay the e-levy on the entire 200. You pay for only 100 cedis because the first 100 is free. So yeah, they'll do everything possible to avoid it. But yeah, so besides that, we're going to have Suta Jelly coming through. Before that, we'll come to do the Matters Horizon, and then the Goddess of Sports, Precious Azuma, will come through with all the details in the world of sports, and then we'll come in to do something quite interesting. So if we've been following the trajectory of the conversations we'll be having on Fridays, we're talking about dating, courtship, or how to tell even whether he loves you. Then we came to dating and courtship, went into marriage, and today we are tabling two strong people in the space of doctor or the health sector and as well as the religious sector. Yeah. What are we talking about? We're talking about infertility, rather. I was almost said infertility in marriage, and that's what you are tabling today. Yeah. So many times people get married with anticipation that okay, they can procreate, but unfortunately along the line they try and many years down the line still nothing is coming. Usually the women are blamed first of all, say or you're bunny, or she's committed a lot of maybe it's even medical, but at times when they go to the hospital they're able to identify. Even sometimes it's the men, their sperm count is very low, so they're unable to fertilize the ovaries. So yeah, so we're going to have that conversation, take a look at the medical side as well as the counseling that couples can get with respect to the religious leaders. So Reverend Kusi Apia is going to join us as well as Dr. Jikuno as well. Yeah, also going to join us. We're going to have a very interesting conversation today. And then our brother Bedroom will be here with Kwame Zagi. Yes, the guitar man. They're going to have an interesting conversation later on, the last 30 minutes of the show. So it's going to be great. You'll love every aspect of it. Join us from now to approximately 9:30, and the show is always interactive. Don't forget, with the phone lines will be activated alongside the WhatsApp line, which is also active, that you can send your message even ahead of time. And if you know somebody celebrating his or her birthday, also you want to just appreciate the person, do well to send us the picture and the message, plus the person's name also to the WhatsApp line, which is on your screen, and we'll acknowledge that. The show is brought to you by Kanaka Prudential Life Insurance. Always listening, always understanding. You have something else to say before we go for it? Okay, so let's go for a quick detour. When we come back, let's get into the kitchen with Switcher Jelly, and then we'll be on with Matters Horizon. We'll be right back.
Would you like to own a home, start a business, provide seed money, or a good education for your children? The Pro Wealth Plan answers all of life's questions. This is Ekwa 9. She wants to be an engineer in future. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, plan to give her the best education but don't want to be unnecessarily burdened when she's ready for university in 10 years. Do you know how much it will cost Ekwa to go to a local private university or university abroad in the next 10 years? Ekwa's parents have signed up to a Pro Wealth Plan. They pay affordable monthly premiums that ensures they are able to fund Ekwa's university fees and living expenses. When she's ready for university, Prudential will pay the maturity benefit and her parents can enjoy free insurance cover for an additional 5 years. In the unfortunate event that her parents pass away, Prudential will pay over 200% of the sum assured, which is 100% immediately, 10% annually to keep Ekwa in her current school, and 100% at maturity for her chosen university. This means that Prudential Life has guaranteed Ekwa's education regardless of life's uncertainties. The Pro Wealth Plan also covers a spouse or partner up to the same sum assured. With over 26 million customers, 24,000 employees globally, and over 170 years experience, you and your family can have peace of mind knowing that you are in safe hands. Whatever your financial goals are, the Pro Wealth Plan has the answers to life's questions. Call us today and let Prudential secure your future.
Hello, sweet team. Welcome back to my channel. This is Sweet Ajele with 2 easy roasted peanut recipes for you all that you are gonna love. I love making my own and I know you will too. So first I pick out the bad ones and then I go ahead and make some hot water. Well, this is already hot. I pour it into my pot. To that I'll add some salt, and you want your water to be nice and salty before adding in your peanuts. Stir and bring it back to a boil. As soon as it boils, it is ready. Strain out the water and spread it on a paper towel lined tray to dry beautifully. In Ghana, they'll usually dry this in the sun. I'm just going to allow the paper towel to absorb the excess water. Now to our second method. In a bowl, add some salt. To that, we're going to go ahead and add some water. Stir to dissolve as much as possible and then pour in your peanuts. Stir everything together until each peanut is well coated with the salt. Allow it sit for about 5 to 10 minutes and then we're going to go ahead and spread it into our parchment paper lined tray, oven or baking tray, and then transfer it into our oven. That is it. And because my oven is a smaller space and I don't want the peanuts to burn, I will be roasting this at 320 degrees Fahrenheit, stirring periodically until it is ready. Now back to the first method. It is halfway dried, so I've transferred it into my halogen oven, spread it out beautifully, and I'll cover it up and roast it at 275 degrees Fahrenheit until it is golden brown, stirring periodically. I'm here to check on the one in the oven, and as you can see, it is beginning to turn brown. I'll give it a shake and put it back in the oven. Please keep an eye on this because it'll burn and your hard work will be wasted. Now I'm checking on the one in the halogen oven. It is looking good. I'm just going to go ahead and give it a quick stir so that it'll roast evenly and beautifully. Back to the one in the oven. It looks good. As you can see, it is ready, nice and golden brown. So I'm going to go ahead and set it aside to cool completely, and I'll check on the one in the halogen oven as well. It is also ready, so I'm just going to leave it to cool. Okay, just look at that, beautiful. And here is the oven roasted one as well. It is also done. I'm just going to break one so you'll see how nice and crunchy it is. You see, absolutely beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead and take the skin off, and usually once they're done taking off the skin, they'll throw it in the wind so that the wind will take the skin away. Some people blow on it, but please do not do that. Put it through a strainer or a basket. I have a couple of things in my house that I'm going to try using for you to try as well. The first one is my steaming basket from the rice cooker. You just put it in there, shake, 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 and the skin will come right out. I also have this strainer with smaller holes that works just as well. And finally, my favorite one to use is this big strainer. When I make a big batch, I put everything in there, shake, 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 and as you can see, the skin comes right out of it. And I'm just going to go ahead and store this in airtight jars or containers, and it should last you for as long as you enjoy your peanuts or groundnuts. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and are inspired to try the recipe. Until I see you in the next one, stay safe, keep loving each other, and remember that the love of God and family is life's greatest blessing. And guys, ke onamini ochemi sweet mahabotu. Bye y'all.
Are you here? Let me see your hand like that. And the other one. Now you're going to clap your hands together, right? Like that. Like that. Like that. Oh!
And that's a wonderful rendition of the song we all love to sing. And welcome back from the break. It's still Healthy Morning Live on Hstv. We're also live on YouTube, Hstv GH Live. Go there, subscribe, and click on the notification bell so that you get to watch everything else we have for you, not only on the Healthy Morning, plus other amazing shows we have for you. Speaking of which, have you heard about Africa's most beautiful voice? It's happening this Saturday, so yeah, all the 30 contestants are going to battle it out for the next 13 weeks on this platform. If you have any favorite of his, if you have any favorite of them, the 30 that are going to contest for the next 13 weeks, you're going to be voting for them. There's going to be amazing things happening on this platform, so watch out for that. It's going to be great. So stick around for the next 13 weeks. Africa's most beautiful voice is live and in charge right here on Hstv. Tell a friend to tell another that it's going to be great and you love every aspect of it. Well, it's time for us to venture into the second segment of the show, which happens to be, no, rather the third segment of the show, which happens to be Matters Horizon. But we have some birthday shout out to do. I think I only have a birthday shout out to do. So this is going out to you, Minister J. Baden. Today is your birthday. You are a gospel artist here in Accra, and it's a today. Happy blessed birthday to you. It's coming from Prince, aka Nana Entry Bwesiakon of HS Plus News Desk. That's how he pronounces his name, by the way. He's sending you love, happiness, joy, and everything else in between as he celebrates this milestone. And he says, since it's a weekend and gospel for your party, but maybe you have some dinner, be a lunch, he and the news team plus we are ready to join to enjoy your birthday party, okay?
Yeah.
Enjoy your birthday, Minister J. Baden. Happy blessed birthday to you once again. Have a good one. All right.
Yeah, it's a Friday. I feel like I attended a party today. Do you know of any?
Maybe Minister J. Baden. Maybe. But I'm sure there are a lot of activities happening around town. So you can just dress up, move out. We could do maybe on your party, but just join. Just make sure they are not saying strictly by invitation. Maybe I know about so. Oh, you are a celebrity in Tia. The moment you get there, they will see your face now. Becca say, "Oh, Hstv."
You're such a
They'll give
mess.
you front row crowd.
Okay, let's get into the dailies and start off with the finder. The banner headline says that bear with government to fix current economic challenges. Bear with government to fix current economic challenges, and this is from the newly elected General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, JFK. And yesterday they launched the 30th anniversary of the party.
Okay, so let's connect it to the story that came out of that.
It says that NPP launches 30th anniversary. The ruling New Patriotic Party has launched its 30th anniversary celebrations with a call on party members to unite to propel the party to victory in 2024. The General Secretary of the party, Justin Frimpong Kodua, said as the party prepared to select parliamentary candidates and a flag bearer, it was important for the party members not to be at each other's throats, quoting that we must stop the character assassination. When you undermine a party member, think of what happened to us in 1979 and 2008, where we lost the elections. He pledged that the current national executives will act as impartial arbiters in the upcoming flag bearership race and primaries to elect parliamentary candidates. The NPP was officially formed on July 28, 1992. As part of activities marking the 30th anniversary, the party will hold a Thanksgiving Islamic prayer at the National Mosque today, Friday, 29th of July 2022, and the Christian Thanksgiving service coming Sunday, 30th of July 2022. So that is the launch of the 30th anniversary of the new. Oh, I'll do the Sunday. Maybe.
Muslim then don't be around.
I can pray.
Oh, you just go there. You just follow.
I've actually not been to a mosque before.
That's the right opportunity for you. It's tourist attraction. Go.
I don't know if I can. I don't know how to mingle or something.
Just go and look for it. When we do the Ghana month, you do the Sambaya Afia or something.
Oh yeah, I did that. That was.
Do that and go. Pesa. Kona Bombay.
Have you been to a mosque before?
Yeah, I have. Na me you I get town boy. Do not get town. Zungo. Masala me dia grow outside.
Well, that's it.
So me can't get mama was a ding. Esi me was any. Esi me ni asi tuntum ka. I said na me ka cool ni.
O me hwe ni mamutala. Mutala Tofik.
No, me pe Ahmed. The one with the flames.
Khaled. Mutala Ahmed.
Ahmed. So you have to have flames in your throat before you can pronounce the name.
In other stories on the find, a chaotic scramble for Ghana Card to register SIM cards. A lot of issues surrounding the deadline that is slated for the 31st of July.
There's actually a call from many sectors asking that they should actually postpone the date again, because as we speak, according to even NIA, only 15.7 million people have been issued their card.
And we are
and you expect everybody to register with their SIM card. I'm sure we have more numbers who have registered SIM card and have phones. And you expect them to, how do they get the NIA card to go and even do the registration with the SIM card? So some judge have been bashing Esla that she should change the whole dynamics, because you can't only use the Ghana card to do the registration of the SIM at this moment. If you are ending it on the Sunday 31st, and those who haven't been able to get their Ghana card, how do they register with it?
True.
It doesn't add up. So maybe they can find another alternative where you can use your maybe voter's ID card or something, which by now I'm sure almost everybody has one. You can do that, use that to do the registration. Either than that, they should keep postponing it. So everybody, NIA can confidently say that, yes, now all the 31 million Ghanaians have their national ID cards. Then we can confidently say everybody should be able to have their SIM card registered.
And I'm thinking some of the telcos have printed out some banners and posted them somewhere. Then you see 31st of July, you see the deadline date there. Then they've written no internet, no phone calls,
no messages. But sorry, they forget to realize that they are going to lose more. Should this happen?
Yes.
They're going to lose more. Their customers don't have their SIM card registered, so they are going to lose more. Yeah, they are going to lose.
They're
going to lose more. So they shouldn't follow the government and say that. They should rather be pleading with the government to change their whole plans and all that respect to SIM registration.
Yes.
So if they still want to go ahead, I don't know, people can't be able to do calls, they can't text, they can't do anything, no internet. I'm even hearing that. So those of us who have internet services at home that uses chips or SIMs, they're supposed to go register that one.
Yes. I think the day I went to register mine, I was with a young lady. She did for her SIM card, because once you have two or more for the same network, you can register to go when you have the Ghana card. So she did for that and did for that particular.
I didn't even know about that one.
It's registered. It's a number that has been registered, so you have to register with the Ghana card.
So imagine those who have no idea. Now you have to go and join another queue again just to register your internet facility.
Solid, you have to.
Oh. Jack, I keep saying there should be a very seamless opportunity for people to be able to do it without necessarily having to join that long queue. Send us that app or something. You're able to do GPS.
That link.
You were able to do GPS app within the shortest possible time for us to be able to locate our houses and everything. And then you can't do this one. Oh. Too much.
Chaotic scramble for Ghana card to register SIM cards. Another story on the find that I'll get into details says that Akufo-Addo sacks Adwoa Safo as gender minister. You can have details of that on page 5 of the finder. And we would want to take the presser.
Oh, yeah. So there was a press release issued yesterday regarding that around 8 p.m. that says that our sister has been relieved of her position. So she's no longer the Minister for Gender and Social Protection. So it's dated 28th July 2022 for immediate release. Revocation of Honorable Sarah Adwoa Safo's appointment. That's the title of the presser. In accordance with Article 81A of the Constitution, the President of the Republic, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, has revoked the appointment of Honorable Sarah Adwoa Safo, Member of Parliament for Dom Kwabenya, a Minister of Gender, Children and Social Protection, with immediate effect. Second paragraph says the Minister for Sanitation and Water Resources, Madam Cecilia Abena-Dapa, will continue to act as caretaker minister for the Ministry of Gender, Children and Social Protection until such a time that President Akufo-Addo appoints a substantive minister. Signed, Eugene Ahin, Director of Communications, Office of the President. So that was big news that happened politically yesterday and everybody is talking about. So Adwoa Safo is no longer our Gender and Social Protection Minister. Substantive minister, the caretaker minister is now Cecilia Abena-Dapa. She has actually been holding that fort for a while now. But I don't know how she's been effective adding that to her portfolio as a sanitation and water resources minister. How effective she's been in that space actually. Because there's many other social protection and gender issues that are happening that I was expecting her to take initiative. For instance, there are 9 boys or 11 boys in the north who were sodomized. At that time, nobody had anything. To date, nobody has said anything as to whether the teacher involved has been arrested or punitive measures meted out to him or whatever. We don't know what has happened to the boys themselves, whether they are being taken care of and they are okay now, they are better. We don't know. So yeah, this is where we find ourselves, unfortunately. So
right. Yesterday I was reading around the issue of this whole, members of parliament absenteeism in parliament for 15 days and all of that, and then I realized that actually it's about 33 of the members of parliament, but it's just these 3 people that. It's just
and out of the 33, I'm told outside the 3, so 30 that is left. The 15 of the 30 are MPs who are doubling as ministers,
playing the
including Kojopon Nkrumah. And out of the entire 33, all of them are with the MPP except 2 who are with the NDC.
Wow.
Just a more parliament. Parliament has when it's time for debates in parliament and laws, we show up some few minutes back now. Some will be chatting with themselves while major activities are going on. I watched the media review budget, the media budget review that was done. Oh, some of them were just there shouting
all over the place,
and people were just chatting with themselves. I saw some judge at a point, he was making noise being idea because he heard something that the minister said that he's not excited about. Charlie. Anyway, it's all part of it, I guess. So.
Okay. The last story on the Finder says that 57 million cedis released for feeding allowances to colleges of education. A bit of the story here says that the government has released 57,460,000 million cedis in feeding grants and student allowances for the 46 colleges of education in Ghana. The Ministry of Education noted in a statement that it was committed to improving and sustaining quality education following some amongst over the non-payment of allowances to school, quoting that the government of Ghana through the Ministry of Education has released an amount of over 57 million cedis covering feeding grants and student allowance to the 46 colleges of education in Ghana. The ministry hereby reiterates its commitment to sufficiently resource and collaborate with all institutions under its ambit in the quest to improve and sustain quality education in Ghana. So the non-payment of allowances had prompted some strikes from students on colleges of education, and then released over 57 million cedis to them.
All right. So the videos you saw about the nurses who were scrambling for food and all that will hopefully be a thing of the past. Let's move on to the Daily Dispatch from Ben Epson and his team. And the banner headlines this morning says, trust in MPP will be restored when we save the economy. MPP's General Secretary. So it was during the launch of their 30 years anniversary that he said that as well. It comes with this picture also on the front page of the Daily Dispatch this morning. So until they're able to restore the economy, what do? Should we wait? Okay, we need a response to that.
And what happens before the restoration of the economy?
That is the thing. JFK is the one. Maybe we should assemble JFK and ask him what he meant by that. And then also reports on why Dom Kwabenya's seat should be declared vacant. Mr. Epson takes us into a discussion on that. So you can grab a copy of the paper and tell you why Dom Kwabenya's seat should be declared vacant. But as we speak, it's still not declared vacant yet. And Speaker of Parliament says when they come back from recess, hopefully in October, then he'll be able to give his ruling on that as to whether they will do that or not. Well, moving on from that, MPA boss to discuss Ghana's downstream sector at South African Conference. Comes with a picture of Mr. Hamid.
Yeah,
Dr.
I think that's slated for 18 to 21st of October this year in Cape Town.
All right, so
we're looking forward to he giving us some strategies to improve the energy.
Don't forget also the Minister of Finance also said revenues from the petroleum sector is now going to help us boost the economy more.
Yes.
And even when Chasu Chiketa gave his lecture at the 10th anniversary of the late President John Ian Mills, he also mentioned how the petroleum sector alone can even help us sustain where we are. But here we are. Don't forget also that there's a company, I've forgotten their name, who has been given the rights to now revamp the entire tour. So hopefully we might start production here in Ghana rather than always relying on using our own foreign exchange or changing our money into foreign currencies to buy. Just like we're having issues with the dollar rising. Now I hear the dollar is almost inching up to 9 cedis.
Yesterday I saw someone dancing to when you hear a dollar is equivalent to 10 cedis. I don't know how true that is, but
it's almost 9 cedis now. It's 8.75 thereabouts.
Yeah, 8.75 currently.
Yeah, it's inching up to 9 cedis. And Charlie, it's not a good story at all. Hopefully, when he goes to South Africa, he'll learn a lot about how to also develop our toll so that we can begin to do the production here. He said we're moving on from taxation to production.
Homegrown solution.
Yes, exactly. The last story on the front page of the Dispatch this morning says Supreme Court declares as unconstitutional law on growing weed in Ghana. Yes, there was a tweet by Gabi saying that internationally people are beginning to make good use of the weed. So it's about time we start looking at that as another revenue generation point for the country. And now Supreme Court, I think the case went to court, and the Supreme Court has declared that it's unconstitutional for growing of weed in Ghana. For now, it's unconstitutional, but I know some people are still growing it, and people are still using it to do their own things, to get high. Anyways, so that is a story. Maybe they will have to look at the constitution once again and make some amendment, because honestly, globally, it's becoming very lucrative in that space. People are using it. So Whoopi Goldberg, for instance, the woman who has the Sisters Act, she's seriously into the growing of that and using it for medicinal growth and all that. Purposes. I saw some videos of people even suffering from Parkinson's disease. They give them to smoke, and then, you know, because we're shaking, all of a sudden they became stable. For some time, they were able to go about their things. But maybe we should start looking into it. It may be able to help. Nana Jaman, a sports journalist, yes, he's been in the sports industry fraternity for a very long time. He's been advocating for that many years now. He's still believing that there's a chance in that.
Of course, I think I agree to that. But how we can actually educate people not to abuse it is that is it.
Make it a law. The law should take care of every aspect of it. The consumption, the production, the usage, all those things. The law should take care of all of it. When it's done, then it's enforced, so that you can begin to know that, okay, when you do this, you go above what the law says, and then you will punish for it, that kind of thing. I think it may help. It starts with the law, actually. So it's up to the
I read a story on Facebook some time ago. It's actually a joke. It says that the young man had weed, and then his sister actually, threw everything away in the washroom, the toilet bowl, and then he also went to look out for her flight ticket and bent it. Nobody's going high.
We all stay down.
Nobody's going high.
Interesting.
You're not gonna fly. I'm not gonna go high.
Nobody is going high. Okay, so let's see how the debate about this weed growing and becoming medicinal here in Ghana, or being used here in Ghana, goes with respect to, because for now the Supreme Court says no, it's unconstitutional, it's illegal to have it. All right, so let's move on to the other portals then.
Okay, about e-levy. Wow.
So the next story should be about e-levy. All right. Yes. So let's move on to e-levy story. That we are told that according to the finance minister, there's been some changes. So e-levy yields 93.7 million in 2 months. The government mobilized 93.7, sounds like a frequency, million revenue from the electronic transfer levy, e-levy, in the first 2 months of implementation. The amount mobilized in May and June this year was about 93.59%, lower than the 1.46 billion target set in this year's budget. Due to this, the government has revised the revenue target for the levy from the initial annual projection of 6.96 billion Ghana cedis to 611 million Ghana cedis in the mid-year fiscal policy review released last Tuesday. From the revenue side, data from the fiscal policy review indicated that the lower than targeted outcome reflected performance of almost all the revenues lines. Total revenue and grants consisting of domestic revenue tax revenue and other major revenue lines churned out lower than projected after yielding 37.8 billion Ghana cedis in the first half of the year from the targets of 43.4 billion Ghana cedis, it said. This mirrors a trend that has bedeviled the economy since the beginning of this year, the revised fiscal policy position said. The fiscal policy review showed that the revenue target for the year had been revised from 105 billion Ghana cedis to 96.84 billion Ghana cedis as captured in the mid-year budget review, which also cut expenditure slightly from 135.6 billion Ghana cedis to 133.84 billion Ghana cedis. presenting the 2022 mid-year budget review last Monday, the Minister of Finance, Ken Forrester, said the government has seen some major shifts in its budget assumption that had led to reduced revenues, increased interest payments, and changes in interest and exchange rates. So this is where we find ourselves, ladies and gentlemen. Now the e-levy has been downgraded from 6.9 billion Ghana cedis to now 611 million Ghana cedis. That's a huge leap. Huge leap. Muntie, just reduce the whole amount or percentage from 1.5, that's we have all agreed on, to now 0.5 possibly. Not even 1. Just make it 0.5. And then forget even about the capping. Just do 0.5. A lot of people will jump onto it. They don't understand that now. Now you should also know that times are hard. You know, beyond that kind of money to be sending around like that. And even those who are sending a minimum of 100 Ghana cedis are even struggling to even send 100 Ghana cedis now. So why won't you listen to the populace and then you see listening government? No, I downgrading.
Okay, let's get into other stories. 76 hospitality facilities shut down in Bono and Ahafo regions. The Ghana Tourism Authority has shut down 76 illegal hospitality facilities in the Bono and Ahafo regions for operating without the requisite licenses from the authority. In all, 70 facilities were closed down in the Bono region and 6 in the Ahafo region for flouting various tourism regulations. In the Bono region, the facilities were made up of 30 hostels, 32 food and beverage spots, and 8 formal accommodations, while in the Ahafo region, 5 hostels and 1 restaurant were closed. According to the GTA, which is the Ghana Tourism Authority, the owners of the facilities were either operating without the valid licenses or had failed to renew their licenses or had failed to register their facilities and were operating without the completion of their registration process. The exercise was carried out by a combined enforcement team comprising staff of the authority and officers from the Ghana Police Service who locked the facilities with padlocks while the authorities' closure stickers were pasted at their entrances. The Bono East and Ahafo Regional Director of the GTA, Joseph Apieje, told reporters in an interview that about 300 hospitality facilities in the 3 regions were likely to be closed down at the end of the enforcement exercise. He explained that the government was losing revenue from the hospitality industry because of the illegalities and non-adherence to GTA regulations. He said in June 2022, the authority announced its plans to commence a nationwide exercise to clamp down on all illegal operators to instill sanity in the tourism sector, explaining that the Tourism Act 817 of 2011 mandated the GTA to register and license tourism sector operators. He also said the law stipulated that individuals should not operate tourism enterprises without a valid license issued by GTA, but many of the operators in the region had flouted the law with impunity. Mr. PJ said the annual licensing fee for food, beverage and entertainment facilities or informal operators was between 20 cedis and 50 cedis.
No.
But most operators are feeling reluctant to pay, and that necessitated the actions.
As low as 10 to 20 cedis.
20 to 50 cedis.
20 to 50 cedis. Oh. Anyways, but see, generally, I like how all of a sudden the states enterprises are now going after their customers.
Yes.
So the ECG, the water company, and the Ghana
FD
Tourism
as well is doing the same.
Yeah, how they are going after. But why did they wait until now? I understand that things are even more difficult for people. That is when they decide to rather go about chasing them. Why have they been sitting down waiting for others? Well, that's my question.
And it's always a month or 3 weeks more tourism or something like period of
because
time.
they're also now feeling the effect of not getting enough revenues at their points. They decided now let's turn attention to the customers. Why do you wait? Like, it shouldn't compound. They are paying maximum of 50 cedis for registration. When Chase you've been given tourism sector, for instance, they've been given 4 billion as a target. Now they realize that there's a need for us to now start chasing people and asking for money. You don't wait till now. Now closing about 300, we are told.
Yeah.
Last time we did about, I think somewhere in the Eastern region or so.
Yes.
Some places were also, hospitalities, industries were also being shut down over there. It's a good thing, but you shouldn't wait till when things are tough before you go and start demanding those money. ECG Bofu said they've gotten some support from the legal fraternity, and then they're having some police people support them to go to houses and check legal meters and stuff like that.
Even if your gate is locked, they'll come in to access and audit everything.
Anyways, let's move on from that into another story this morning. Quite a disturbing one. If you're an avid consumer of Venera mineral water, you may have tasted some water that is not too good. You may. So, Venera mineral water product recall. The company that produces Venera mineral water has initiated a product recall from the market following some factory defect, we are told. Products that are being recalled have the batch numbers TW/5 2014B, and then TW/5 2015B, TW/5 2016B, then TW/5 2017B, as well as TW/5 2022B. So these products, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any pack of Venera water seated in any part of your house, your home, your offices, anywhere you find yourself, maybe you should now go and do a quick check right now. So let me take you through the numbers again. TW5 2014B. Then the second batch is TW5 2015B, TW5 2016B, TW5 2017B, TW5 2022B. So from 14B all the way to 22B, if you have any of such, please, you are admonished to go through it somewhere, or they have a contact you can give. I'm going to give you the contact. You can call them, and then they'll come pick it up and then maybe change it for you. So it's urged anyone who has in possession of any of the badges to send it to any 2LM distributor or contact these numbers: 0249 71 7777, 0249 71 7777, or 0501 282 582 all the way to 3. 0501 282 589 or 0501 282 590. So, ladies and gents, if you know of any Venera mineral water that has these batch numbers I indicated earlier, please make sure you take it back to them or call the numbers that I just mentioned. It said bottled water exposed to the sun during transportation or storage is unhealthy for consumer, as it exposes the water to the BPA mineral used in manufacturing the bottle. Also, do not store close to chemicals or strong fragrances. These are the advices they are giving us. And then also, to ensure our consumers have the experience they deserve, 2LM Industries Company Limited is voluntarily recalling some of the badges. So all these badges that I mentioned, the 5 badges, starting from 14B, 15B, 16B, 17B, and 22B. Please make sure you take it back to any of those offices or branches that they have, or depots that they have, or you can call the numbers that I also gave you, and then they might want to change it for you. If you've consumed it already, maybe you should check yourself into the hospital. You never know. Yeah. Okay, so that's the story.
Okay, let's get into a health story here that has to do with Marburg virus. It says that Marburg virus, over 100 contacts cleared, 81 others identified, according to the Ghana Health Service. So the Ghana Health Service is remaining optimistic about its ability to control the outbreak of the Marburg virus disease in Ghana. Despite 3 confirmed infections that led to 2 deaths, the service noted in a statement that the first batch of contacts traced tested negative for the virus. The source of the virus is yet to be detected. Initially, 118 contacts were identified in follow-up, including the 2 who later tested positive. The remaining 116 contacts have completed the mandatory 21-day follow-up and are all well. In addition, the service said 16 contacts, including healthcare workers, were randomly tested and are all negative, quoting that a new set of 81 contacts for 2 of the cases are currently under follow-up. On 25th July 2022, the service reported 4 cases of Marburg virus disease following test results from the Noguchi Memorial Institute for Medical Research. The second case, which is a 51-year-old male with known chronic disease and not linked to the first case, was, however, awaiting retesting. Repeat test results received from the Nogochi Medical Research Center on 28th of July 2022 were negative for the Marburg virus disease, bringing the total number of confirmed cases to 3. The service believes Ghana's health service is resilient and has been responsible for the early detection and prompt response to outbreaks. It also said a number of healthcare workers were currently trained on the management of viral hemorrhage fevers across the country, even before the first Marburg virus disease was detected. The Ghana's National Public Health Emergency Operations Center has been activated since the detection of the cases. The outbreak in Ghana is only the second in West Africa after it was detected last year in Guinea. So the confirmed cases, one of them is a 26-year-old male who got ill on the 22nd of June 2022 and later bled from the nose and mouth, was admitted to a hospital in Ashanti region on 26th of June and died 28 hours after admission. The second case has to do with a 1-year, 2-month-old contact of case 1. Got ill and was admitted on 17th of July 2022. He died on the 3rd day of admission. This is a 1-year, 2-month-old baby. And then the third case has to do with a 24-year-old female, a mother of case 3 and wife of case 1. She is alive and well. She has since Tuesday, 26th of July 2022, been in a government-designated isolation center and is being managed with full implementation of strict infection prevention and control measures. So far, out of the 3 confirmed cases that we had in Ghana, aside Guinea having other cases as well, we lost 2 people, a 26-year-old male and then a 1-year, 2-month-old baby. The 24-year-old woman is receiving treatment and preventive measures are all in control.
That's cool. Yeah. But the part that 81 have been declared fit to go home.
Yes.
But we've also recorded 81 more. Please, there was also a notification from Ghana Health Service that those who are in the Galamsey areas should be quite cautious because the disease is beginning to become very prevalent in those areas. So if you are in those Galamsey areas, which we've been asked to stop, please make sure you protect yourself, especially doing all the protocols that there is. Okay. All right. So let's move on to some entertainment story that has to do with our very own Black Star deputy captain, Thomas Partey. So there was trends yesterday talking about the fact that there's this lady with a Twitter handle at Defo Nocha. I don't know how to pronounce the name, but Defo Nocha, sort of. She's been tweeting a lot, talking about the fact that substantive or deputy captain is or has raped her, and on 2 occasions it happened, but it happened at the blind side of the law, so hence is unable to be charged for it. Well, this was a post she made that is circulating on social media that says Thomas Partey is a serial rapist. When you use the word serial rapist, it means that she's not even the first.
Serial is a strong word.
Very, very. Thomas Partey is a serial rapist who has got lucky because the date he decided to rape me whilst we were on holiday together was 10 days before UK law changed, allowing UK police forces jurisdiction over crimes committed outside the UK. And she comes back to add 38 minutes after that, this means that the second incident of rape that he committed, I believe that's what you want to say, committed against me outside the UK is now not eligible for charges. Not because he's innocent, not because there isn't enough evidence, so she has evidence, but because I was raped 10 days before the legislation that would have put him in prison changed. So remember during the preseason, he was supposed to travel to Germany, and we were anticipating, some rumors were circulating that he's the one. So when the Arsenal team touched down at Germany and he wasn't part of it, we're like, hey, Charlie, so where is he? And it's possible that he's the one. Then all of a sudden, days down the line or weeks down the line, this woman start tweeting and talking. But I keep saying, why allow yourself to be raped twice? You fool me once, shame on you. You fool me twice, the shame is on me because I allowed it. Why do you allow yourself to be raped twice and you're not coming to tell us? Well, I would hold my brief and wait for Thomas Partey's version of the whole story or any legal investigations done into this. But you see, the unfortunate thing is that he being a black man is my worry.
Why is that your worry?
What hasn't happened to Bill Cosby? What hasn't happened to recently R. Kelly? Let them fix their eyes on you to destroy you. This racism thing is not dying anytime soon, my dear. That is my worry for him, honestly. Even if he's innocent, they will find ways and means to disrupt his career. And by the time you realize he's lost virtually everything to the law, going back forth, paying this. Eboué. There's somebody called Eboué from Cote d'Ivoire. I said Senegal earlier, sorry, from Cote d'Ivoire. He married a white woman outside. They say, no, why am I boss? Let's pray for our brother, ladies and gentlemen. And as much as the story doesn't add up from the woman's side, let's still pray for him, because these white people and what they do to the blacks when they suspect that you might have possibly done that, and he calls him serial rapist. Okay. Maybe she has other information that we don't have. Exactly. So let's pray for our brother Thomas Partey, and then hope that he's clean and innocent. All right.
Okay. I'm getting to more stories, or we need to wrap up.
The final one.
Okay.
This is the final one.
Okay. With Archbishop Duncan Williams just talking about, telling us to continue to hold on to our faith in God, because this is the first time the country is facing economic crisis. You remember in epic moments, I think in 1981, 1983, where the country was facing these challenges. So it's not the first time, and it may not be the last time.
Actually, in 2000 when he took over.
Oh, yeah. Yes. So keep on hanging on your faith.
When I come here,
so it's a wrap for Matters Arising, and we have a lot for you today on Stay Alive on Healthy Morning here on Hstv. We're going to have a conversation with Reverend Kusi Thomas Apia and then Dr. Chikono, talking about how to deal with infertility in marriages. If it's even a deal breaker in marriage, we'll look into that and all of that. So we're going to wrap up on this segment, Matters Arising, and then Professor Zuma will be on with Sports in Minutes. We'll be back after this break.
My name is Dr. Andrew Akutu. I'm the Managing Director of Hstv Funeral Homes. Hstv Funeral Homes was established to provide modern, state-of-the-art and comprehensive funeral services. If a family lost a loved one, everything became a do-it-yourself affair. But Hstv Funeral Homes was established so that everything that has to do with the funeral, from the time a person dies until they are buried, can all be done and made available in one place. And at all time, to emphasize the importance of treating the body of the deceased with the utmost respect and dignity. Hstv Funeral Homes provides any and all services that have to do with funerals. Hstv Funeral Homes will recover the body from wherever the death occurred, embalm the body using the most modern techniques. We will keep the body or store the body in our state-of-the-art refrigeration system for as long as the family desires. Nearer the time of the funeral, we will prepare and dress the body up for the funeral. We provide transportation, namely ambulances and hearses, to convey the body from one place to the other as the family may wish. We also provide on our premises the services of an interdenominational chapel where the services can be conducted. We also have the only modern crematory in Ghana at the moment, which services not only Ghana but also Cote d'Ivoire. We also have a cemetery, one of the only two privately managed cemeteries in Accra at the moment. All it takes, literally, is one telephone call and perhaps 2 visits to our premises for everything to do with the funeral to be arranged for you. There are several funeral plans on the market. Most of them are based on the premise that when the insured person passes away, the insurance company will pay an agreed sum of money to the bereaved family. Often enough, the sum paid to the family may not be sufficient to cover the basic needs the family requires. That is where the Prudential Dignity Plan comes into its own and is significantly different, because what the Prudential Dignity Plan ensures are the services that will be required, so that it does not matter whether 5 years or 10 years after the insurance was taken, those services will be provided regardless of the fact that the costs may have gone up. Once you are insured, your services are covered. It doesn't matter how long before the death occurs.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance, in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes, is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved ones.
The die is cast. The battle lines are drawn for Africa's most beautiful voice reality show.
30 super talented contestants,
14 grueling and exciting weeks. The affections and tensions.
who will be crowned the first most beautiful voice this year.
Who will walk home with 1-year recording deal and money in the bank.
Don't miss this exciting music reality show live on Hstv.
If you're wondering what will happen next, stay glued to Hstv for the unfolding details.
The show premieres on Hstv on the 30th of July 2022 at the GBC forecourt at 5 p.m.
Africa's most beautiful voice reality show is brought to you by Hstv in partnership with Veru Productions. Africa's most beautiful voice reality show.
This is your time to shine.
Awusia bedawase se okasa mfonyine egusua eda Hstv ebia na wadamfo bi onua bi ananse busuani bi aboamane se na nsen enya de onya Hstv o ne kasa mfonyine eso obuo no mu a onya mfonyine eba nanso kasa bi a emma obuo nso no ane de na tekokra anyimu ayekusukusu ese otin kaibo ina ebo na mane emaye se we Hstv no atekwa yebese se obesa scanne u TV no foforo anaso obesa scanne u decoder no foforo ene be mu akwanya ama wonsa saka Hstv bio de ndwumadi ahodo na wonso wanya akwanya atumi ahwebi etie bia na onua bi pese o sa scanne TV no foforo a yebese se obeya aso na watie kwan a obefa so obesa scanne TV no anase decoder no efoforo yedi nkan so pese o scanne TV no foforo a obefa remote na what remote no so wamia menu e remote no so e di amaye atwode bebre e na beba okasa mfonyi no eso hwehwe bia ya tro se channels e maye nemia okay e remote no eso e di atro foforo e besa ba o kasa mfonyi no eso ahwehwe bia ya tro se auto scan nemia okay wo remote no so e maye we be scan ni stations ahodo e wo kasa mfonyi no so e di amount ejina wo TV no so ebitimi di sima be aduonu enko aduasa eso stations ahodo eba akasa mfonyi no eso bomodi a na hwe Hstv onsa be kan na hwe ahwe edwumadi ahodo a akanina ebia na wo de no enye TV na emom odi coder e na apese osaska na fofo ntitiu eni omom use Go TV obobo modin afa remote no na wamia menu e remote no so e di amame atwode bebre ebeba okasa mfoni no anim wadaroma hwehwe bia atro se advanced option nimia okay e remote ne so emame edi atwode foforo ebeba okasa mfoni no anim hwehwe bia ya atro se installation nimia okay e remote ne so emame edi atwode foforo ebesan aba hwehwe bia ya atro se auto scan nimia okay e remote ne so emame webema wonsa ka eye kasa mfoni na se stations ahodo a ewo omayimu enina bomodi na hwe Hstv nemia okay ewo so we be mu akonya asamu abeka Hstv abusha kese ho ne dwumadi enina onso wanya bi ahwe bomia bi an Hstv article amane wɔn fa saa kwan yi so na ne nsa bɛsan aka yɛn yɛde wase so agye brɛ ne watie yɛn ne wahwɛ yɛn so.
This is Hstv, grateful for your time. Training. Are you creative? Are you willing to learn? Are you interested in the media? Well, Hstv has an opportunity for you. Get training in camera handling, video editing, motion graphics, program presenting, MCR, sound engineering, news reporting, and casting.
In Accra to speak to some commercial drivers.
Why don't you call these numbers 054 6833 724 or 0240 300 507.
Welcome back to the Friday edition of Healthy Morning Live on Hstv. My name is Precious Azuma. It's time for sports in minutes, and starting off with the local stories. Larry Sumaila has revealed that he got to know of Hstv decision to release him through a friend. The right back was part of the couple of players released by the resigning of the MTN FA Cup winners ahead of the 2022-23 campaign. On Tuesday, the Phobians released Larry Sumaila, Frederick Ansaboche, William Denchi, Manaf Umar, Kofi Koji, and Patrick Razak. In an interview with Koforidua-based Bright FM, the enterprising defender expressed worry about the club's decision to part ways with him. So he stated, "At the moment, I have not received any official letter from the club. But I'm sure I'm going to get it. My exit from the club is a worry because I have Hstv at heart. To be honest, I was shocked when a friend informed me about my release because I didn't know the club has taken such a decision. I believe it is part of life, so I have accepted it in good faith," he said. And now moving on to other stories. Alhaji Grusa King, Faisal's owner and bankroller, has slammed Kumasi Asante Kotoko's decision to put the image of Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the Asante Hene, on their newly released jersey. Kotoko on Tuesday released the official home and away kits for the 2022-23 season, which is set to begin in September. The kits were designed by Era, an Italian sports equipment supplier who agreed to a 3-year deal with Kumasi Asante Kotoko in 2020. However, Gusa, a veteran football administrator, has raised concerns claiming that having a picture of Otumfuo on the jersey is uncivilized. He stated during an interview with the Kumasi-based FM Kesbin, he said it is uncivilized to have put Otumfuo on the Kotoko jersey. In fact, it is a village thing. Otumfuo is more than that. He does not go to war and lose. Maybe these Asantes don't know how to value Otumfuo, who doesn't know he is the owner of the club. Which team does this in the world? We put sponsors on jerseys. This is not maturity. They already done it, but they can still go back and change. This he said.
And now moving on to other stories as well. Bechem United midfielder controller Francis Chine has officially completed his switch to Accra Hearts of Oak per confirmation by head coach Kasim Mingle. Chine turned down offers from Aduana Stars, Mediama FC and Burkum Chelsea to join the capital. Now let's do some Women's League, and the West African Football Union Zone B has announced a new date and venue for the WAFU B Women's Champions League qualifying tournament Côte d'Ivoire 2022. This was contained in a notice from the WAFU B Secretariat and copied to all member associations. The competition has therefore been moved to Yamoussoukro, the capital of Côte d'Ivoire, and will take place from Saturday, August 20 to Friday, September 2nd, 2022. Ghanaian champions and Pemda Aqua Ladies are placed in Group B alongside Union Sportive Mare of Burkina Faso, Bayelsa Queens of Nigeria, and Atleta FC of Togo. Now let's wrap up with some European stories update concerning the transfer window, and Barcelona have agreed to sign France centre-back Condé from Sevilla for a reported transfer fee of 50 million euro. However, Barca say the deal is subject to the 23-year-old passing a medical. The defender has made 133 appearances for Sevilla and won the Europa League in his first season there after joining from Bordeaux in 2019. And this is where I draw the curtains on Sports a Minute today, live on Hstv. My name once again is Precious Azuma. Stay with us.
Out of balance and is slipping towards disaster. Only a desperate voyage.
Years before now, I traveled to the land of the spirits for powers. It is impossible for anyone who bears human blood to live amongst the spirits. Blood-feeding demons could have devoured you.
Across oceans of time and space, to the limits of the imagination, will lead to the secret power that can restore harmony.
Anano, wait there. Me didn't come with the back up. Kumoji. Asemi. Me won't make a and then
why you say now, did you know? And I won't need me by Prebema. Now, what about me by Brianna?
My name is Dr. Andrew Akutu. I'm the Managing Director of Hstv Funeral Homes. Hstv Funeral Homes was established to provide modern, state-of-the-art and comprehensive funeral services. If a family lost a loved one, everything became a do-it-yourself affair. But Hstv Funeral Homes was established so that everything that has to do with the funeral, from the time a person dies until they are buried, can all be done and made available in one place. And at all times, to emphasize the importance of treating the body of the deceased with the utmost respect and dignity. Hstv Funeral Homes provides any and all services that have to do with funerals. Hstv Funeral Homes will recover the body from wherever the death occurred, embalm the body using the most modern techniques. We will keep the body or store the body in our state-of-the-art refrigeration system for as long as the family desires. Nearer the time of the funeral, we will prepare and dress the body up for the funeral. We provide transportation, namely ambulances and hearses, to convey the body from one place to the other as the family may wish. We also provide on our premises the services of an interdenominational chapel where the services can be conducted. We also have the only modern crematory in Ghana at the moment, which services not only Ghana but also Côte d'Ivoire. We also have a cemetery, one of the only 2 privately managed cemeteries in Accra at the moment. All it takes, literally, is one telephone call and perhaps 2 visits to our premises for everything to do with the funeral to be arranged for. There are several funeral plans on the market. Most of them are based on the premise that when the insured person passes away, the insurance company will pay an agreed sum of money to the bereaved family. Often enough, the sum paid to the family may not be sufficient to cover the basic needs the family requires. That is where the Prudential Dignity Plan comes into its own and is significantly different, because what the Prudential Dignity Plan ensures are the services that will be required, so that it does not matter whether 5 years or 10 years after the insurance was taken, those services will be provided regardless of the fact that the costs may have gone up. Once you are insured, your services are covered. It doesn't matter how long before the death occurs.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance, in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes, is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved ones.
That was a brand new one from our youngster musician Photocopy, taking us to South Africa, giving us some dance over there. That's the latest one he's dropped, titled Tomorrow. We're not going to come here tomorrow, but today we have something interesting to share with you. And we're talking about infertility in marriage. How do you handle it? Have you encountered any in your life as a couple? And how were you able to navigate that and even probably be successful at it by giving birth or having a child as a result of that? Were you counseled? Did you go through herbal, or did you go to the pharmaceutical kind of avenues to be able to come out of it? How was it for you? You may want to share your 2 cents on how your life was like, and having gone through that stage of life. People go through as high as even 20-30 years without son. Even biblically, Sarah and Abraham didn't have one for a very long time until they were visited by the angel. So if you have any stories to share with us on that, any advice to give to couples who are probably going through such situations, join us on the WhatsApp line, which is on your screen. You can send us a message over there. When it's time for us to activate the phone lines also, you may call and then add your voice to all the conversation we're going to have. We're expecting 2 guests, but at the moment we have one we're taking off with, and there's the CEO of Hstv Herbal Clinic at Medina, is in person of Dr. Jikunu, and he's going to help us get into that. He's going to handle more of the health aspect of it, and then the counseling and the spiritual aspect of it will be handled by Reverend Kwesi Appiah when he joins us later. So, welcome, sir.
Thank you very much.
It's been a
Chief
minute.
Diego. Yes.
The title there, like somebody will come asking for land from you. When you come to Chief there, you start sharing land. So please explain the Chief to them. It's just a Thomas title.
Yes, it's a title.
Okay. Thank you very much. Anyways, it's been a while we saw you.
Yes. I gone hiding a little, but yes, we are all doing well. And I miss all the team. My beautiful host Stephanie.
I miss you too.
And Masa, my film
I saw you in your attempt of missing. You posted some videos of you two having a chat and all that.
Oh yes. Now I'm filming. Now I'm filming. Almost all the time.
Any account. It's okay. It's okay when you don't miss me. Because you and I
miss you and you. Yes,
miss this way. Don't come this way.
Now what I said. Don't mind me.
Interesting. Anyway, so there's this ideas young men have in their heads now that to be very sure of the fertility of the wife I'm going to marry, I would like to probably put in a seed, the 2 months also, because you are not too sure about the future. And for guys now, they try and hold on till they know that this girl or this woman I want to marry is capable of conceiving before they go ahead. What do you think about that in the first place? That should be the first conversation we should have.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much, and greeting to all your viewers and the general public. Yes, I know the counselor will come, but as I see it as a doctor, I also wear 2 caps or 2 or whatever. I'm a minister as well as a doctor.
That's good. I'm feeling for him.
So one, getting to know the fertility status of a woman before you give birth to, or before you get married to her. For me, as a health person, I think it's yes and no.
Okay.
The reason is health status of any human being can change any other time.
Okay.
You can be fertile today, everything is all right, but just within the next seconds, it could just be anything that you can take of it, whether any of the accident does not even include even the highways, just where we are sitting. Somebody may just break or something small, and then that is it. That could affect organs leading to infertility. So if you think you are too wise, God also will show you that He's wiser than you. So I believe that if you love the person, because it's not really the main situations about the one you are meeting, how you love or you cherish the person, and that love between you and the person runs into one giving birth and actually having that peace home that you like. And the woman you are seeing, whether he's or she's a total person, total here is not only about the fertility, because there are children that I'm telling you are homes that people wish they didn't even give birth at all.
Such as, is it like the, what do you call them, the kids that are abnormal?
It could be.
Okay.
Because I always said, especially when expectant parents come to me, we want a child, actually I give them a serious counsel to understand what they are going in for. Because one, you are just looking at, let me give birth to a child, but one, you don't know who is coming. You don't know the type of person that he is or she is. You don't know what kind of character, apart from she being healthier and other thing. You don't know the character she's going to come out with.
Okay. So before people even want to have kids, it's good for them to come for counseling from
the
doctor.
Yes, they need to know what exactly they are going in for. We apart from
the woman being okay with other things, the home, the composition of the home itself.
Okay.
There's one. The understanding of your partner is also one, because the basis, as I always said, is the blood group. If the partner is this other blood group and the other one, you have to have the home will be in a certain situation, because the behavior will not be same. Some have wild activities. Some are also calm. If yours is the high type and the other person is the low type, how do you manage? There are other blood group, like some negative and positive. It doesn't augur well. It may even lead to sickle cell children. So all these things has to be considered before finally. So it's not about, oh, let me check whether, but then and take a phrase, maybe what sickle cell and now say any other problematic or genetic this. You must be in the know and also prepare your mind physically and whatever that you could before the child even comes. So I don't subscribe to, okay, let me see whether she'll be able to give birth and this and people can give birth. Sometimes even the woman you want to marry already have one child, but as soon as you get married, then another situation altogether, and or even the man that the man cannot perform again. What then do you do? So the anxiety and those kind of facility, our life is the hands of the Lord, and we don't determine many things. Of course, we can be very cautious, but life, how it's happened, does not depend solely on us. So you can say, she's pregnant today, but as soon as you get married, some conditions happen that she cannot give birth again. What would you do?
Let's go straight into our conversation, and I want you to first clear the air for us. It looks like in a local setting, infertility has only been attributed to females, to women. Is that the case?
No, it's not true. Actually, I always said that women does not carry children. It's men that carries children. The seed is not with a woman. Most of the time, it's like the women always carry the title, oh, this is my child, this is my, but they know, or every woman knows that you don't have a seed. What you have is the container to contain the seed. So if the man, if a child is not coming, the first place to look for a child is from the man. That's the first place. But unfortunately, as you rightly said, it's all the attribution to women. They are not, but is the men. So if the man sperms, other conditions and everything is all right, then after checking the man, they will come to the woman. Okay, what is the composition of the body, the reproductive organs, and many other things? Then when that one is checked, there's a problem. Then we know, okay, the man can perform well and the woman cannot perform. Sorry, I have to mix these things together. The man can perform very well, I mean sexual everything, but we call something as ospermia, where the man's sperm is coming, but there's no life in it. So yes.
So there's a amount of sperm is supposed to release.
Yes, exactly.
It's, that should semen actually.
Yes, semen. Yes. And there should be life because there are components in the sperm. Okay. And if that component is not up to, the woman cannot, the man cannot impregnate the wife. Yes. So all those things are around.
So when you say infertility, it has nothing to do with just the woman.
No, it's both.
What is infertility?
Infertility is one a matured two people, I mean man and woman, coming together in a relation, staying for 6 months, having unprotected sex, but yet could not realize a fruit. Here, I mean a child. Then it's term between 6 months and 1 year. Then it's term. This is infertility.
When you're having unprotected
sex, yes, continuously. It's not like today or no, but you must continue.
How continuously? Like every day?
For men,
it's a dosage. You decide what to do. By the way,
at least in a week, it might be 5 days.
Oh
yes.
Oh, we have 7 days in a week. So
yes, 5 days. Between 4 to 5 days. Yes.
She's surprised.
Yes.
Tell her more.
I'm not.
Yes. Oh, okay. If the person can every day let her go, let him go. Let her go.
I think the only exceptions will be when she's probably
in her menses. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Even with that one, it should be an agreement between the two people. Yes, I know some may disagree, but I'm telling you the facts. Because you see, there are some women when they are in that menstruation, some prescription will go that at that moment, that is when she can take it. So go in.
Oh, really? But you health experts tell us that is not.
That is why I said the research. As I said, we are a research institution, so it's not what somebody has written down and sugar coated or whatever. But you ask, there are some conditions when the person is within that period. Maybe she started maybe a day or two, getting to the end, the person can have sex, and through that the person can conceive, not the regular one. As we know, yes.
Interesting. Because around that time we're thinking that is when the dirty things are rather coming out.
It's coming out too.
That is what some researchers. But I'm telling you for a fact that what I have studied.
Okay.
That yes.
And it has worked for somebody.
Yes, it has worked for somebody. I've done that prescription. It's worked for people. Wow. Because there are sometimes it's not what's the standard that somebody has rehearsed and set up and written some nice sugar-coated words. Yeah, I'm not saying medical researches are wrong. That's not what I'm saying. But as you can see, even things change all the time. And they will tell you that take this medication. Tomorrow they will tell you that take the other medication because this one has been fortified, whatever. Researches changes all the time. So it depends the person you are handling. I mean, whether the woman or the man, especially when it has to do with women, there are some areas that, so far as you are comfortable in doing, there's no problem with that.
Awesome. So you made mention of your definition, but your definition,
yes,
when
6 months.
A man and a woman
Yes.
matured enough, stay together for 6 months, about a year,
Yes.
having
unprotected
sex and unable to conceive.
Conceive, yes.
Good. So at that point, after 6 months, 1 year, they realize that though they want kids,
yes,
they are unable to have the kids.
Yes.
And he contacts, let's say, a medical professional like you.
Yeah.
What is the first thing you do? Or what do you take them to?
Okay, so when you come to, for example, in city, what we do is straight. One, we'll ask you many questions. I mean, how did the whole thing start? Genetically, psychologically, and ask of some background history. And when all is set, if there's a need, we'll go for further labs for us to check that whether from
background history, sometimes they don't tell the truth.
Background history do you
Maybe
check
I watched in a few times and she's not comfortable telling you.
That is why you are a physician. And
you
thanks
can
to
be able to tell whether she's done it before.
Oh yes.
Wow.
Oh yes. Oh yes. And there is a way you have to, as a physician, there's a way you need to go around it. For example, couples come and they all sit. Oh, should I tell whatever? They say yes. But when you start and then you begin to know, no, there are things that the man shouldn't hear and the woman also shouldn't hear. So I tell them, okay, you man, go out, ladies first.
There's
so
supposed to be secrets amongst them.
Oh yes.
Them.
Oh yes. Let me tell you, even if you are a couple, there are certain things. I'm not saying don't disclose, but you can't disclose everything of your life to each other. Sorry, I'm saying this. Even if you are a couple, I'm telling you today.
Ask him.
Yes, I'm telling you.
What he thinks about that.
I'm a physician.
Okay.
And I'm telling you that there are certain things. Of course, I'm not saying that people or couples should not disclose their secret to each other. But you can't disclose, as a human being, you can't disclose everything from your heart to your partner. There are certain things, yes, you also have to go alongside with it.
Okay.
That is the only way.
So with the medical aspect, for instance, that let's say the couple come and you realize that one party is uncomfortable about each other's past or history.
Yeah.
And you probably seclude them.
Yes.
You have a questioning with one person and then you bring in the other person.
The other person, yes.
At that point, wouldn't you be creating some sort of tension between the two of them after, because they will be wondering, what did you discuss with my wife or my husband?
Because asking me to excuse you to, I've taken my decision.
Okay, now one thing we need to know is that the reason why you are in the facility is not because you want to be in the facility. You are in the facility to find solution.
True.
So as a physician, I need to sit down and look at what can I do. Remember, I have, beyond being a physician, there are other trainings that I have that are helping in the kind of work I do. So most of the time, I will even prefer that after meeting the two of you, I'll meet you one-on-one, because there are questions I'll be asking. If your partner is there, you can't answer me well. Okay. And when you answer me and you are fake also, I know that what you are saying is not true.
Okay.
And I'll ask you further questions, and that will bring them out. So there are ladies, and their husbands, they come, then I ask the questions and I say, okay, from where I've gotten to, the lady should go out and let me start with the man. I'm a man, so we go man to man. And then when we go deeper and deeper, then I realize the problem. That's okay, that is fine. Then I handle the lady. How did it all start? Past relations, those that works, those that never works, and some of the things that happened that you are not even aware. I begin to ask you questions. So when you dig deeper,
so there are things that you might have done, but you're not.
Yes, you are not
aware. That is the reason for where you are.
Yes.
All right. So, Doc, hold on. We'll continue with how you handle them and all that. We're going to take a quick break at this moment. And when we come back, we'll be joined by Reverend Kwesi Appiah also to also share his side of it in terms of the religious angle with the conversation we're having. We're talking about infertility in marriage. So stay with us. You can send your messages also on our WhatsApp line. We'll be reading between the show. We'll be right back after this break. Stay with us. All right, so welcome back. The studio's getting quite heated and interesting with the conversation we're having. We're talking about infertility in marriage. Have you ever been a victim of that, quote unquote? And how were you able to navigate? How were you able to go through that? Were you successful at it? Maybe you want to share your story with us also. Somebody watching, somebody listening may pay attention to that. It could be of help. But plus, we have some very respectable people here in the studio as our guests who are educating us on that. Already we are talking to Dr. Jikunu, who is the CEO of Hstv, and joining us right now is Reverend Kwesi. Is a leader of a church, is a lecturer, is an economist, he's a security analyst, he's everything put together. Joining us today also. Rev, Akwaba. Yeah, been a while. Football as well. All right, so we'll be talking to Dr. Jikunu. We got to the point we're asking about the first things you do when the couple, after 6 months. By the way, his definition is that after the couple, it's not two couples, the couple haven't lived for 6 to 1 year, having sex unprotected, are unable to conceive, then he terms that as infertility. In your understanding of it, what would you say it is?
You see, I'd like to say a very good morning to cherished viewers of Hstv, and let me say this. You see, the Bible speaking says, for lack of knowledge, man for perish. The reason why people become depressed, people are so stressed with some of this issue, is that over the years we've had limited or sometimes I call it the wrong interpretation of scriptures. When I'm doing counsel, for instance, one thing I do most of the time is to let you understand. According to the book of Psalm 127, verse 3, children are heritage. The womb, the gift you receive is a reward from God, which means having children biologically, as it is how everybody's dream, it's not something that is automatic. It's in the hands of God. That's the first thing. But quickly, somebody will now take you back to the book of Genesis. But God bless and say we should multiply. Yes. Exactly. That's why I say wrong interpretation of what? Scriptures. You see, God is so wise, and people say, so the moment you begin to feel you are wiser than God, that's where we are suffering. Most pastors have misled people. They say, I don't know whether you can go to that scripture. Let me show you something. Genesis chapter 1. You see? You see, that's we have issues now because those who are even interpreting the Bible for most of them don't even understand the Bible.
Genesis chapter 1,
verse 28. That was what God blessed them. But you see, because we don't understand the statement there, so today we've put a lot of information. Don't forget, what controls you are the information you have in your head. Your mind controls you. Do you know why? Some years back, when somebody is suffering from malaria, they will rush the shrine and because they feel a 3D. Yes, they will go and perform all kinds of ways just to, because meanwhile now knowledge has come in to show us that malaria is so treatable. You can just test. Are you getting it? So now people are now realizing where they were now unsure, the way they were just fighting. Is the tension has come down because now new knowledge has come in.
Let me read that.
Now watch it. Verse 28.
Says, then God blessed them, and God said to them, be fruitful and multiply. So
you see, how do you read the Bible to another problem? Now the Bible is saying that when God created the human beings, God blessed them.
Now, in their response to the blessing, how do you not know that I've been blessed by God? He's not going to open it up for you to see your blessing, how you can demonstrate it. So if I meet you, Diego, and I want to know whether you have been blessed by God as couples, when I'm doing counseling, so as couple, you say you want to enter into marriage, good. Your blessings should be demonstrated in this manner. And God is not going to explain. Take your time. The first statement is be fruitful. Now, pause, don't go. Don't even jump. You see, we are quick to jump to the multiplication aspect. But the first statement, be unto that fruitfulness has found its perfect word. You can't go to the multiply. The question is, what does it mean to be fruitful? Before you answer that, an average person going to marriage don't even know that. And let me tell you this: the moment you get this, it now settles you that whether children come in or not, you wouldn't feel anxious. Why? The word fruitful in here is a statement of purpose. You are fruitful when you are living according to what. So, for instance, as a presenter, you cannot say you are fruitful. You are being fruitful if you come here, you don't do your work as a presenter. The reason why this light are needed here, or they are here for a reason. As when you on it and it's not on it, the next one will pull it down. It's not being fruitful. So it's a statement of purpose. So before you even think of children or anything, the first statement is be. So the foundation of marriage, the two couples, is that do you even know your own purpose in life? That's the first statement too. So once you know your purpose, then the two of you are in to fulfill that purpose. Now that's where the fruitfulness is a whole teaching. So when you now know then you know that multiplication. We've limited it to only biological, best friend. To multiply yourself is not just about giving. No, last I was here and I was teaching about the 3 roles that every man and woman should play. And I said every man must be a father. The word father is not about you giving birth. No, it's an understanding you must have that I'm a source. Watch it, I'm a source. So that's why we say our Father in heaven. And the Bible will tell you in the book of Romans chapter 8 verse 14, that as many as are led by the Spirit of God, they are the children. So you can only be a father when you are a son. Meaning that if this man begins to now behave or do things like me, I'm his father. How? My ability to impart him. My ability to put my spirit in him. Spirit here is not about whom no. The knowledge, the information. So I was doing some years before I met him. He was so stingy. He was so selfish. But I've been able to correct that mindset. And now this man now behaves, do things, and you think, oh, you behave like this man. No, I've been able to. I'm now the source of his life. So being a father is not about opening up that woman. No. So you see, because we are not here, we are not purposeful. We don't even know what I like. So the whole concept of being multiplied is that know what you are doing and now put yourself in people that even when you leave this earth, there are people who live your life. The whole concept, so you would have taken my time to go to, that's what Jesus came to now. The whole concept is what Jesus came to live. How many children did Jesus give? None. But now watch it, he was fruitful. He came with a purpose. How did he do? He now went ahead to multiply. How did he multiply? He put a spirit in people. So today, everywhere in the world, Jesus is there. Meanwhile, he never gave birth to one child biologically. But Jesus is everywhere in this world.
So in summation of all that you said, the counseling part is very critical.
We have a big problem that's what today an average person becomes so anxious, and it's surrounded when there's no children. The point is, yes, it's everybody's dream to hold his or her own child. But when you understand the basic principle God has laid down, you can live a life, you can give it to millions of children, not biologically. Not just people who can tell you they never give birth to one child. Meanwhile, the way they've trained people today, they have a lot. Mothers and fathers. When I was called on several stations, I was educating them. That when I meet any woman who claims I'm a man, the first I'll tell you that you've never been a mother. But I was even I told you, motherhood don't stop when you give birth. Your motherhood is your responsibility towards society. So everywhere you go, you must give birth. You must help people. Because that's why as a father, the whole concept of fatherhood, when you discover you're a source, is that you must learn to protect. So anywhere you go, how many people are you protecting them? You must provide. How are you providing for people? And you must promote. How are you promoting? So if I come close to Diego, I should be a father to you. How? I should now ask myself, how do I impart? How do I help you to move you from level 1 to level 10? So yeah, biology has not given birth to you, but I can be a father to you. So imagine have these people around you, you will not be stressed, you will not feel depression. But because we've limited the whole concept of also know about to Panama wound, you know. Me now idea now Daniel Adesua.
So let me come back to you.
Yeah.
In his analysis of all that, there's this anxiety that plays major role.
Sure.
In what society also have, as in culturally, because African traditional religion, I studied religion back in school. It has 4 stages of life: childbirth, puberty, marriage, and death. So everybody, there should be some kids in there, and then before your death, and then you go off. That's the society thing. You calling them, they coming to you, and then the first stage they go through is you quizzing them, or asking questions. When you get to identify the problems with these two, what is the next thing you do?
So after I finish that one, I bring them together. Those that needs to be disclosed, as I said earlier, you can't disclose everything as a human. So those that need to be disclosed, then it's disclosed to each other.
Sorry, let me take 1 minute thought of
on the speaking about
the disclosing thing. He thinks that medically, certain things when you call the man and the woman, you should not be able. As a medical doctor, he's also a Reverend Minister, by the way. He thinks that it's not advisable to share everything at that point. In your space as a Reverend Minister, what do you think about it?
So as a counselor, we are also guided by ethics. And one of the ethics is called ethics of confidentiality. So whatever information you are picking from people, it's not your job to disclose. But the point is, there are ones which is so critical that you can now counsel the couple, guide him or her, that looking at the situation you find yourself, I think it's better you let your partner know about this. But it's not every information, like I said, it depends on the situation at hand. So for instance, let's say counseling you about this infertility issue, and you have had children or those things around, I would rather counsel you that, look, though we are dealing with this here, but maybe at a proper time, find a time to disclose to your partner. But it's not my job as a counselor to tell your partner, your wife or your husband that, you've done it wrong.
No, we are looking for a solution.
Yes. But don't forget the foundation of communication is to build relationship, not to break it. And you see, one thing we should know, at the time when I was listening to my brother, he even made a statement, I've been saying this. One problem we have that we don't even understand ourselves, our temperament that I've mentioned about, the melancholy by nature, they are past-oriented people. Their mind is set in the past. So whatever you tell them today, they don't forget. 20, 30 years, they will remember. And unfortunately for them, when they remember too, their mood transcend. So you can be very happy today doing and they can remember also when my die. That statement alone can swing the mood. And she tell you, I'm no more in the mood. Because they don't forget until you are able to take them through some mind training, because they love them and teach some teaching. They have a problem here. That's why an average melancholic has a problem of depression. They think too much. They're very thoughtful. So if you are counseling people, you should even know their temperament. That's why there's information you give to the person. You are rather destroying the person. Just yesterday, I had a counsel session for a couple. Now, let me quickly say this. The moment I told them, I don't want any of you to tell me your problem in their marriage. You know why? I discovered that both of them are cholerics. And by nature, cholerics don't want their information. Cholerics and melancholy, they don't want their information to go out. So you may think, I want to tell the counselor about what you're doing to me. You are not building a rather destroying, because by the time the counselor leaves, it will turn out good anymore. So you think, I was doing, you've come to solve a problem. So I told them, don't tell me anything. My job, the job I do, the knowledge I have, if I meet you, knowing your temperament and her temperament, if you don't, I can tell every problem you are having. So let it come from me, but I don't want it to come from you.
So good. So let's continue with you. At that point, you get to know the information and everything. What will be the next step? Say, for instance, you find that it's rather the man who is infertile.
Okay, so straight away we would like to check more whether the person has to go to the lab, some tests carry out, and when that one is done, then we treat the man, and then that is it.
That is it. What is the longest duration you probably have treated a man?
Let me say this: men are very difficult to treat.
You also women are the complicated one.
Yes, you are complicated, but when it comes to health issues, men can provide money for wives and children and whoever is close to them, but for themselves, we are the last person who thinks of maybe healthcare, because we have that ego thing that massa, this one he even look at your face and so on and so forth. And as you rightly said, even though you've told him the problem, there's massa obana me cry be me SHS cry no na me cry machine. So those things, but at least you can be able to, manage the situation, manage the ego, and bring the person down. And little by little, within the next 6 months or 3 months, you give yourself for the first 3 months, and then maybe the next 6 months before you see, God willing.
Let me add something. See, one thing people don't know. Men and women are not the same. I want to just add to why men are supposedly or we perceive them to be difficult. You see, when we understand how human beings, our behavior, things that impact our behavior. I've mentioned it here sometime ago. The nature and the nature. That thing was demonstrated in the Garden of Eden. When man was created, the first in his environment, the nature is the environment, how your mindset are shaped, things around you, how they impact you. What the man was introduced to, the first thing was work. So man by nature is a work-oriented person. When the woman came in, the woman was introduced to family. The first time the woman came, she saw a man standing. The man had given her 2 heirs. That was it. I told you how Adam wedded the wife. So the woman was oriented, exposed to family. So a woman is, primarily a family-oriented person. Here's how the problem is. Now, so a woman can do anything to make sure the family survive. But a man will do everything to protect his job. A man, so when it comes to family matters like that, men don't have interest.
Taking a job so that he can have a source of revenue.
That's what I'm saying. That is where his energy is. That's where the environment he was put. So he was always task oriented. When God brought everything, he named it. So a man always wants to be fruitful by ensuring that I'm doing the right thing, I'm working for. That's why a man can leave the family to pursue a job. Meanwhile, a woman can leave her job to come and pursue family. So I want you to, so when it comes to family matters, men don't put much information there.
Awesome.
That's the point I wanted to add.
Thank you for that.
Yeah. But Doc, I want to find out from you medically, can an infertile man impregnate a fertile woman?
No, can you come again?
An infertile man impregnate a fertile woman.
When we say infertile or of a man, there are, let me talk about 2 stages.
Okay.
We have the first one, which is the zoospermia.
Okay.
For that one, unless you seek for medical attention.
Okay.
But the other one where we have the low sperm and maybe what we call the pelvic inflammation diseases and so on and so forth. For those ones, yes, maybe somehow if the woman is very fertile, of course the man can. But it's going to take some time. But of course the pregnancy will come.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Awesome. So they are cancelled. Probably you get to find out the problem with the man.
Yes.
And as you mentioned, we men, we have issues with treatment. It takes a bit of time. Yes. But unlike the woman, that it's easier to. Is it that easy for the woman also?
Yeah, for women with medications, unfortunately, in where we are sitting, I'm in Africa. Most of the time, when there's no, children or child, there's
the woman.
Yes. Okay. And as Councillor rightly said, the woman wants to make sure that the family is sane, and that has become her joy. So she does everything to make sure, because sometimes the man say I'm coming, the man will not come, the woman will come to the hospital, you assess everything, she's all right, and then sometimes you have to, in a way, find a way of inviting the man, or sometimes find some sweet way of meeting him somewhere, more making him understand that there's a need, because it's not the problem of the woman. You say no, it's the problem of the woman, but at the end of the day, solution is fine.
Primarily, what causes infertility in men, for instance?
Let me start from pelvic inflammation diseases. Okay. So we have all the UTIs that like the gonorrhea, syphilis, chlamydia, and all of them. And these days, especially what is coming is the sorry, I've forgotten the English word, but I remember masturbation. Okay. It's another great thing. Even people are married, they are still doing it.
Really?
And they will tell you that it's an addiction, which is serious these days. So before the person gets to 25, 30, no, the thing is, he will tell you that I have premature ejaculation. But the truth is, there's a science. One, anybody that does masturbation, if it's within 1 to 3 minutes, you can't, when you have natural sex, you can't go beyond that 3 minutes.
Oh.
Yes.
I chanced upon some Kama Sutra region.
Okay.
That says that when you do it properly, say, especially, it's also correcting the men who can go, let's say, above 1 minute, 2 minutes.
Okay.
So you lie down on your back, you do that, and when you're about to come, you stop. you do that continuously, it elongates your period. It was a solution to those who are like 1 minute, 2 minutes men. How true is that?
You know, I always say that most of the writings that we do, especially we, the medical experts, some, yes, I'm going to sound controversial, but I always say it. Some are bought items. I normally call them. How does it mean? Now, there are people who are writing out of a motivation, either for money, either for religion, either for coming from a certain quarters,
personal gains.
For personal gains, to be able to bring people along with them. Sometimes even for their own pages. Maybe he's doing a blogging, he has to just put in something. But they don't have correct backings of science or much research to be able to make sure that what they are saying is true. Because remember that men penis does not have bone. Then how did it perform? How did it stand to perform? It means that it comes with nerves and other that is what pushes. And remember that if you have a nerve, even with this hand, when you always, like the nerves, you always twist before you see it started paining you. All right, you'll be experiencing pain. So nerves is not there for you to just go and touch and do you get it? So I don't believe in that.
So these are the things, including masturbation.
Yes, masturbation. Yes, and people genetically may have a problem as well. Those who have heart defects and the BP and some cardio problem and other things, may also learn it. That those who also sit for long. And with what you are doing, there's radiation with the security services, the guns and other things they are carrying. It all carries those kind of radiation, which is going to affect them. So, and then also there are some blood group naturally they may have problem with, which I've said it before. I know some also sound other controversial, but blood group B's for some time may have problem. Some of them may have problem. Yes. Sorry. May have. No, may.
But you have But because I have a question for you. But before that, I want to announce that the phone lines will be activated shortly, so you can stand by your phone. And then once they're activated, you can call in 0302776637. But for now, you can start sending your messages, whatever question you have, you can start sending them via the numbers at the right hand side of your screen. We're also active on all our socials. YouTube is Hstv GH Live. We're streaming live there, so you can head on to the comment section beneath and leave your thoughts, comments there as well. But Council, I want to find out from you why married men will masturbate.
Well, that one too is another distraction, but let me quickly say this. Some, as he said, it's habitual. Because some started long before, so even after married, they are not addicted to it. Some too is out of the challenges they are having. Because, I've just talked about the temperament some time ago. Yes. Melancholy by nature, when it comes to almost all the four temperament, they have issues with sex. To them, they see sex, they are expressive. So I tell them they are selfish. In terms of, it's about, I must give it to you. So I have to give it to you. That's a woman. She says I have to give it to you. So when you are in the melancholy by nature, yes. When it comes to sex, they want to give. That's when you don't speak to them right. When you don't manage it's very difficult for them to open themselves to you. So when you don't know your wife well, you are going to have issues with sex, because eventually, anytime you need it, because you didn't put in that effort, you are not going to get it. So eventually, now pushes you back. So most men who are married to melancholics, they stand a chance to masturbate, either to cheat. So they're not either they cheat, and when the man now feels I can't go out to cheat, then they have to resort to masturbation. So those are the things. But you see, at least just of you, we were here to also talk about self-drives. On our Welcome to program, that women with and Stephanie, for instance, when you check her hand, there's no hair. It's an evidence that she has low self-drive. So such a woman is like a etimono. This is all called for now. Yes. So eventually, Diego, if you should marry such a woman, you are going to have problem with sex. Because you have high self-drive. I'm not asking. I'm telling you. Stephanie has so maybe perhaps you have to come here and do the education using physical features to determine sexual compatibility. God is so wise. This knowledge is there.
You don't know about all these things.
You don't need to sleep with a woman to even know whether you are compatible or not. Your mouth, your nose, your ears, your neck, all these things can even show the signs of peppernis. your fingers, how also I can look at you and tell you how long or big your private party. I can also look at Stephanie, they know the same thing, and know whether she has a big video or small. Yes, you can look at the person and tell. Yeah. These things are there. You understand? That's why
and is 100% correct.
Yes. Now the moment there's an exception, then it's evident that the mind develops fully after 20 years and above. So the moment if you are below 20 years, you begin to masturbate or engage in sexual activity when you're reaching orgasm, it puts stress on your hormones, and eventually certain part of the body will feel that you are developed. So it didn't develop anything. That's why if a young lady below 20 years gives birth, she cannot be toy again. As I'm moving into the medical aspect now.
Because I heard after 21, don't actually go any further.
So you fully develop after 20.
Okay.
20 above. Okay. So below 20, anything you do essentially, it now sends message to your body that you are old.
Oh, okay.
So with this, it is 100%. So when you check and yours is not, it means an evidence. Either you started engaging in sexual activities at a younger age, or maybe started masturbating. So sex in itself tells the body that you are old.
Okay.
You understand that? So it's 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, we can check your nose, everything, and tell. So if you come for counseling or this, we can let you know that, look, based on the features here, if you don't know how to use sweet words, it doesn't mean she doesn't have energy for sex. Yeah. You see, most of the those we assume they have no sex drive, they have energy, but to start them, that's what the problem is. There's I said that they want to touch no, not international, Satan no day, but with them no, also pushing the kakira. So if you know that they have to start yourself from morning before you leave for work. Before you leave for work, you start to put some sweet words. Those things to prepare the mind.
Rev, you know you can't be doing this all the time.
That's upset, so you must check. So if you know you have high sex drive, then don't go and take a woman like Stephanie. You are not going to issues.
Unfortunately, if you have taken already, what do you do?
So then you come for counseling. Yes, you come for counseling. Yes, we come for counseling. Like I said, we can also work on the mind. So the Bible now rectifies all these things. Yeah. That's why the Bible now will tell the woman that, look, if you call yourself a wife, the one that you should have, according to 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 4, is that a wife does not have authority over her own body. So if you should give my phone to Stephanie and I want to take her back, she can't say, because you didn't speak nice to me, I won't give it. Then she's a thief. I get your point. So the Bible now rectifies some of these things. That's what I say. The Bible is a manual to help her. It's not a religious book. So those things are there. So many people in marriage to masturbating, one because they are addicted or because they are not getting, because they are self-drive, like, we'll be on here 10 rounds, me or Baby Time or 2. They say 8, you know. If that's all the carbon thing, and also the copper, so those are the issues.
Okay, so what is the rate of your success in terms of achieving, let's say, people who are infertile, and how are we able to manage with them? Has it been very successful at least? So couples who have been married 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years down the line, they're unable to conceive. The success rate, has it been good comparatively to, let's say, those that you are not able to help at all?
Oh yes, I may say 90%. In some of the cases, sorry, the people that not even need medication.
Oh really?
Yes, some of the people that comes to me,
it's just psychological.
Yes. Really? So there's a woman who was already pregnant before she came. So she came and she was saying, apparently she was not even the one coming to the hospital. She brought an older person to the hospital. Then we started talking. So after that, then she began talking like other problem that she was having. And then I said, but you are pregnant. I said, never. It's not true. What did you see? I said, okay, what I saw, I can't tell you. So you don't worry. You come 2 weeks time to this so and so lab. Let's do a test. When there's no pregnancy, then let's see what we'll do. So the 2 weeks time, she came together with the lady. We did the test. And then she went to the lab. She finished with the test and started laughing. I said, wait, before. I said, before. So yes. There are some of the cases that the person, you just need to speak to the person and few things that the person needs to do. Yeah. Some also, people need medication, people need serious counseling to be able to arrive at that.
You mentioned that some of these things, unfortunately, it's not everybody who will have access to you for counseling before they marry. So you're able to probably predetermine, even tell by the looks, whether they're sexually compatible and all those things before. Unfortunately, this couple didn't come to you. They married and their sexual drive and everything is down. They're unable to conceive. When they come to you to seek counseling, for instance, what advice do you give to them?
You see, one thing people don't know, the mind is so powerful that it influences us on 4 levels. Everything we are studying, he's talking about medicine. The mind controls our medical issues, spiritual. That's when there's an issue. So, for instance, if somebody is mad right now, as a pastor, we look at it from the spiritual point of view, which is the mind. The mind controls the spiritual realm. Somebody will be looking at the psychologist will be looking at the psychological aspect. It's still the mind. A doctor will be looking at the medical aspect. It's still the mind. Sociologist will be looking at the sociological factor that impacted in life, friend. That's still the mind. So the mind is so powerful that every solution. That's why when somebody is not having boost, they can't sleep. They will come to the hospital. They do medicine. Whatever it's just drawing some chemicals from the brain, and it will help you to sleep. When somebody is taking drugs, you are dropping the dopamine to feel good about it. Everything is about the brain. Are you getting it? So you need to now understand that everything we are doing on this earth, the foundation is to impart the mind to work. Before I come to even here, he's made a statement that some don't even need meditation. Like we are talking about. Yes, there are some because of anxiety. Do you know why right now, if let's say a tiger or a lion should enter here, you may even jump by the time you are holding this. The thing will rise. The thing you couldn't do normal in a normal way, you end up doing it. How? Some hormones has just risen up, and you can do things beyond your things. The same thing. So that's only time God comes around you, or the angel of God can tell. The first thing tells you, don't be afraid. The first thing that's to relax you. Many people are looking for children, but they're so anxious about it. Your hormones are always activated. And you can never get the child, not because you are infertile or because you need medication, but your mind is not stable. I was just counseling a lady she has a child, but she's now looking for another one because the first one is older. I told her, you're a Christian, you believe in prayers, but I can assure you, your prayers are not being answered by those. Say yes. The moment you pray from the perspective of fear, from the angle of fear, you've already defeated your prayer. Because there are two spirits.
How do you pray from?
So I'm coming. There are two spirits that initiate everything. To initiate any spirit of God to work in your life, in the spirit of faith. To allow the devil to work in your life, in the spirit of fear.
Okay.
So the moment so for instance, you're looking at your age, and like, hey, I'm not 39, by 40, I may be entering into my menopause, you've initiated fear. Any prayer you pray at that moment for child, you won't get it. I don't know if you're getting it. Any prayer, because you are praying out of fear. You are afraid that by 40 years, forgetting that we are serving a God who has the power to cause somebody who is in 50 years to give birth. So until you allow the word of God to set to you and know that, look, I don't care my age. I believe by the power of God, I'm going to give birth. The moment you are able to now settle yourself and be at peace with yourself and believe in God, you've initiated the Spirit of God to work in you. So there are many people who are even praying for children. They can't get them God. They are praying up from the perspective of fear. God, looking at the woman's age, looking at sometimes this in the family. My mother couldn't do this. Me too, I couldn't. So my father, therefore I'm afraid I may not. Also, the moment that word I am afraid comes in, you've destroyed your prayer. Yes.
But history says we learn from the past to correct the future. So you might have known that maybe you have a defect in your family in respect to having kids. So having that knowledge is also very key. So you have that knowledge already. It's in your head. You should have it so that you know how to pray about it. But you can't detach that knowledge from the prayer.
So what am I saying? I look at my father, for instance, and maybe at his age, he couldn't build a house. Right? That's the knowledge of acquired, looking up where he's coming. Okay. That rather should not settle me to know that, okay, I am in God. Therefore, with God on my side, I am going to do this. It should not motivate me to, like I said, out of fear. Hey, if I don't work hard and I go to the age of the moment you become anxious, that is to be anxious for nothing. That's the word. Anxiety will always move you to that level where you are afraid, you don't know what the tomorrow holds for you. We may not know what tomorrow holds, but our God knows tomorrow. So for instance, if right now I should call you, dear God, Lord, let's go to Accra Mall. I'm the one taking you, and you believe in me that I have money. Will you be concerned about whether the parent don't have money? Whether you know the person you are working with, therefore you will be certain to know that since this master I should go with him, I shouldn't be afraid. When you know the God you are going with, the reason that most of us, we talk about faith, it's another teaching, we talk about faith, and that's why we don't even have faith in God. We allow our family issues, our past, our things we know, and dictate our space and things we do. So to you may think you are praying, but to God you are not praying to him. Because the way you allow fear, like I said, your motivation comes out of fear, you push God out. God You should trust him. That this is a God I'm serving. See, the thing we have in the Bible, the kind of stories we have, this person grew to 70 years, 90 years. I tell people, you don't need to even look at it. There are people right now certain.
Recently, the woman at 65 years old gave birth at Lekma. So, I mean, those things are...
You understand? So, the point is this. Some people, I know some people where the womb even was turned. Because of some kind of sickness and things. She never thought she could give birth. Today she has given birth. That should tell you. That was it. I'm speaking as a pastor here. And you get to, so whenever, and you see, we can't change it. The spirit controls the physical. That's why their doctors, even when they not tell it to you and they realize that all the knowledge has been exhausted, they not tell Madam, let's pray.
But so for when we say, sometimes the person knows, for instance, maybe a woman, she knows that she's committed about 4 or 5 abortions. Then she's now married, and she knows that probably this is the reason why I'm here. And what trial, the kids are not coming. It's not that it's a punishment from God or something like that. That's the reason why she's unable to have a child.
It still come out to the same thing. Yes, you know your past, like I said. But what does the Bible say? If anyone is in Christ, he's a new creation. This is a person. Now, let me say this. Let me even help you here. That's what the Bible is so religious to say, manual. If a manufacturer is so wise enough that whenever he produces something, he now produces parts, spare parts, that whenever something now is desperate, you can replace it. Then I want to announce to you, God is so wiser than any manufacturer you can think of. Everybody on this earth, they are spare parts for you. That's why sometimes you keep hearing some of these testimonies. That this person said, my womb was turned. According to medical records, she's not able to give birth, but she has given birth. That's why you cannot look at it. This can only be God. This one messing God, though. To let you know, this one there, without anyway, you know, this one, it can only be God. So your situation should not put you at that level that look, Reverend Michael was late said, Minya Sasson, Benjamin Pebia da Roma, while Mama Tias said, where do you play in America? This can only be God. I have the records to prove I can't. But I believe that the God that I know, the one who created me, who has purpose, he has the ability to change me. You'll be surprised you give birth. And indeed, the glory will go to him. But you see, when it gets to that stage, that's why you have people who never commit abortion, who are virgin before they marry, they're also struggling with it. So when it comes to God, the children are heritage from it's a gift that he gives. There are basic things we don't know. So we are fighting ourselves, and some of us are even fighting God. You can't fight God. You should rather settle yourself and tell yourself, I believe you.
So on that note, would you say that then infertility should not be a deal breaker or a ground for divorce?
That's what I'm saying, that it means when you understand the whole concept of marriage. God never spoke about marriage, the whole multiplication issue, until he spoke about fruitfulness. That's what I was talking. So you can't even think of marrying somebody in the first place until you're fruitful yourself. So the two of us are coming with that purpose to do something. So we understand children, whether we give them biologically or we adopt them, not adoption like that, by training, having people to train, we are still having children around. It settles all this issue. But you see, we have issues with, like you said, culture and other things. I come from this family, and even we don't know some people. I have 4 girls. And there are people, Pastor, now watch. There are some church members who come to me and say, Pastor, yeah, one person will have them. Stop that nonsense. I have never prayed for a boy. Watch it. Okay. My understanding is that children are heritage. One thing I pray that Lord help me to give birth. I've given birth. I can't question whether there is a male or a female. I don't have that right. No why. My job is to train these children to be whatever they need to be. True. My children, if you come, the girls, they play the church instrument. I know you're 7. The first one was playing the keyboard for the church. Nice. One played the drum. The girls, they do everything in the church. Yeah. Are you getting it? And even I tell them, whatever I'm training here, it's not your purpose in life. You just want, because we have the access to learn them. But your job is to help your children to discover themselves. That's another thing. Because in this way we live in, you must have a job and a work. Your work is your purpose. Things you do for humanity that you don't look for money, you don't accept pay. Your job is your skill you acquire. So as a daughter, you are working for money. Every human being must have a job and a work. That's another teaching altogether. So the reason why we are frustrated is that we are only doing our jobs. And job will always make frustrated, because the moment you are down being paid thousands this year and you hear that they are paying 10,000 here, you quickly rush there. The day you hear that they are paying 15,000, you rush there. So we are always chasing. But now what settles you with word, according to 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 10 said, every gift I have placed in you, your duty is to use it to impart people. So work, you don't do it because of money. There are some who have turned their work to money, that's another thing. But when you have your work, you ask yourself right now, what am I doing for humanity? We are sitting here. I know they are not taking money from us. It's part of our work. To use the knowledge we have to impart society. Until you have this both job and work, and until you are not even complete. So there's some knowledge we need to have. Today people are frustrated because job can never make you satisfied. That's why no matter amount of money you receive in your life, you are always fighting to get more. You bought your first car, the next moment you think, oh, I can get a better one than this. You build your first car, you're thinking, I can build a better one. Material things don't make us satisfied. What makes you satisfied in life is to identify why on what God has placed in you and your ability to now use it to more impart people. I can tell you, you'll be more satisfied than having your own traits.
There's this part where people go to the medicals, they seek all the necessary, even travel to India, other places just to seek medical help to be able to give birth. They're unable to do that. They come to pastors like you, pray with them. And then I like the part you mentioned, the prayer of fear, prayer of faith. Where you pray the prayer of faith, and then all of a sudden they're able to conceive. What was exactly the problem was? Because they didn't pray well.
They were anxious. The more you become anxious, you have allowed fear to enter you. The anxiety was pushing. What is it say? But conform your heart. Do you know the concoction people are drinking? If some women should come to you and tell you, some are even sleeping with this herbalist. I'm telling you.
But Dog, would you say Anna's prayer in the Bible was out of fear or
I like this statement. I was even preaching about it just last Sunday at CFCC. Now watch it. Look at it. You can read it from 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 10. You know, Hannah prayed for years. Nothing happened. The Bible speaking said until she got to this stage that she changed her prayer. It comes back to even to confirm what that I've said right now. And Hannah now decided to change her prayer. What did she say? That if Lord, you look at my affliction, you look at what your maid is going through, and you give me a male child, I will give him back to you. I tell you, that did the trick. That look, I'm not seeking this child for myself. I'm seeking this child because my rival is doing this. Yeah. That was all that was happening. You see, our life is not for us. Yeah. Even your children that you are giving, they're not for you. Yes. You are supposed to get them and train them for humanity. That's why if you don't get them biologically, you can still get children and train them for humanity. Now, read it. 1 Samuel chapter 1 verse 10.
Okay, chapter 1 verse 10.
Yes.
Okay. And it says
Hannah changed the prayer. And that did the trick. That same year she comes.
And she was in bitterness of soul and prayed to the Lord and wept in anguish. Then she made a vow and said,
what did you do? She made
a vow.
To whom? To God. Get it right. That anything I'm going to do, no, this is what we live. We don't live for ourselves. We live for God. So now she said she made a vow. Now look at the vow.
Said, O Lord of hosts, if you will indeed look on the affliction of your maidservant and remember me and not forget your maidservant, but will give your maidservant a male child.
Now, a male
child.
Anybody, this is the reason people are not even getting children is that we are looking for children for ourselves. I'm saying, let's get it right. Children are a gift from God. You should always know the source. So whatever you are receiving from God, you have the intention to give that thing back to God. That's what today we can even go to and leave our children in the house. Yeah. Another person don't even be man, I'm gonna die, I'm gonna Hannah now got the mystery. So look, if you give me this nature, what will happen to this child?
Then I will give him to the Lord all the days of his life.
I pray anybody watching us having this issue of infertility should get to this level. You don't lose children for ourselves. They do, because where I come from, and I need a male child. That's why most people even get married to other women just to get a male child. Children are heritage. There are deep mysteries in the Bible. Do you know that the Ezekiel, that king who now prayed for God that Lord, and I prophesied, I went to him and said, Lord, you are going to die. And he now requested, Lord, I want to. Look at me and do it. And God gave 15 years.
Hezekiah, you mean? Yeah.
That child that he gave birth to within that 15 years became one of the worst leaders in Israel.
Why did that happen?
So go back and check. So you see where the problem is. God knew that, look, your days, your purpose has been fulfilled. That's why Jesus hand on the cross said it is finished. Paul now came back and said, I've run the race, I've fought. You see, our life on this earth should be led purposefully. You should know why you're on this earth.
Thank you.
That is where we need to get to.
Let's go through some WhatsApp messages that I have here. This one is to you, Doc. It says, good morning. I turned 38 years this May. I've been in a relationship for 16 years without a child. I have pains on the left side of my testes for more than 14 years. I was diagnosed with varicocele just 2 weeks ago. Is it advisable to go for surgery? I think there's a health condition that has to do with the enlargement of the veins around the testicles.
Yes.
So he's asking if he has to go for surgery.
Yeah, the surgery is one, but if he comes to alternative also, that one can be treated and you'll be fine. Because with surgery, yes, there are other, the doctors will tell you whether it's 50-50 or 50-40 or 30-70. So if you want to go for surgery, that's fine. But he can also leave for alternative, which will also solve the problem.
Was that correct?
Yes, sure.
Okay. And this one says that how can a woman know she's infertile?
As we said, the fertility, you must stay with a man unprotected sex for 6 months. And if there's no baby or there's no pregnancy showing up, it means that you may have a problem with. But here is the case, whether that person is also committed to you, because there are many things that comes alongside with it. So if you stayed with a man or married to a man, sometimes the anxiety alone will not give you that pregnancy that you want. But if somebody that everybody know that you are with, whether married or whichever, marriage is only about they don't do. Let's also know that it's about two parents coming together, even if it's one coming together to accept that this daughter is given to this man, whatever. That is it. That's what it's all about. And then from there, you know that what's the name? Fertility issues starts, whether you become pregnant or not. If that one happened within 6 months, and you stay together for 6 months, there's no pregnancy, then it means that it's termed infertile.
Okay. Yes. But I want to find out from you, in encountering the challenge infertility, is it advisable to discuss that with families as well?
I don't think so, because I believe that if, especially married people,
if they don't need to discuss it, they will see it, because they don't see the child with you. So
of course, they will see it. But having said that, the most of the problem and the pressures, especially women face, comes from the family.
Yes.
As you rightly said, this is apart from that, if you are in few, and with all these pressures, as for our house, even or Junsot by I don't know. So yes, it's there. So because of the pressure, so I don't believe that you have to discuss that with a family member, but seek help. The husband and the wife to sit together, that if what we want we don't get it, so let's seek help, especially from the medical side. So when medicine and everything is set, the simple way can be done. Those anxiety and everything can be worked on, and then a child can be given, which I don't think is much of the problem, because you discuss it. Some of the time what they will tell you is that, it's the other day we asked for your grandfather, he did something, so let's go to this person. Before you see, as he rightly said, some of the things that women are going through, some of the doting and some of the concussion and some of unnecessary fasting from our brothers from religious side, and some of the talisman they have to put on their waist, and some of the bead they need to put, unnecessary things, some of the makeups. These are things that they must go and get from whichever to whichever, and at the end of the day, family will be still directing. Okay, then maybe a papa no nya the into the unia we fan there, so the that send the and the child will come all right, but yet you yourself will not see. So when you're on your death row, on your death bed, before you be confessing that this child is not for him and this child is not for so that is where the problem. So seek for medical attention. These days there are many ways you can give birth. There are many ways.
At this point, I want to activate the phone line 0302776379. Callers, we are discussing dealing with infertility in marriage. So the phone lines are activated, so you can call in, and whatever question you have, Rev and then Doc will tackle that for you. Rev, I want to find out from you. So once a couple decide to go out for adoption, do you need to discuss with families?
You see, the whole issue of I wanted to add something that even for a woman to suffer this abuse whenever there's childlessness in your marriage, it's an evidence that the man you are married to is not a husband. And I told you the 3 rules. Yes, you see, when you have a husband, check throughout the Bible. When you talk, No. You open to Ephesians chapter 5. Ephesians chapter 5. Let's look at who a husband is. So there are many women who are married to men. That man can be a father. See, most of the things we do in the house stem from our fatherhood. We are providing, buying things for the family, taking care of the children, paying their fees, looking after our. That is a fatherly role. It's not a husband role. You can only be called a husband when you have an understanding that you have an exclusive duty. So there are some specific things you must do for your wife. That qualifies you to be a father. Let's look at them. It is outlined here. Ephesians 5, read from verse 22.
22, okay.
No, I think verse 25.
25, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, husbands.
So now, if you're not a husband, you can pass. We are talking about husbands here. And two, if you're not doing this, then don't call yourself a husband. It takes only those who have this understanding to call them. So there are many men who are married. You don't marry to become a husband. You should be a husband before you marry. You should have this understanding before you pick somebody's daughter and say, I want to marry you. So now who is a husband here? It's husbands.
Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ also loved the church.
The day you understand this, you kneel down and ask for forgiveness. You know why? If God has now ended that love your wife, just like that, you don't have a problem. Because you can choose to love anyhow. But it now gives you a marking scheme. You can only say that you are qualified when you are loving your wife, just as Christ loved. So the first question, how did Christ love the church? While we were yet sinners, while the church was childless, while the child was committed adultery, while the child was doing all kinds of things, so Christ decided to show his love. So it means you get to that point that regardless of what my wife is going through, I have a duty to love her. So the moment you cannot stand up and say all kinds of things against your wife, you have moved from that role as a husband. Now continue. There's another point here. Okay. So you don't love your wife just the way you like. You love her just as Christ loved the church. Look at the next point.
And give himself.
And you should be willing to give yourself. Which means every insult and abuse, you are willing and ready to absorb them. The moment you allow this abuse to go to your wife, you are not a husband. Some men can even go and tell people about their wife, discuss their wife, their family member, and I mean, you are a stupid husband. You are not a husband. According to the Bible. I get to the point. So you see, there are people parading themselves, and I'm a wife who told you, yes, you are married, but you're not a husband. We are talking about husbands here. That's why I'm very passionate about what culture has made most men so irresponsible. They assume that just because I'm able to pay your bride price, then no. It takes maturity to become a husband. So you should be able to defend, protect, absorb. So if you are a man watching us and you allow people to ridicule your wife, abuse your wife, I'm sorry to tell you, you're not a husband. You should be ashamed of yourself. Now look at the next point.
And he might sanctify and cleanse her.
The day I saw this, I just thought, can you imagine? The Bible speaking said, anyone who is hot, who have taken bath, who so actually don't need to bath like right? Yeah. So if now God is telling the woman I'm giving to you, you should have the ability to sanctify her.
And cleanse her.
And cleanse her. That tells the woman is not complete. So it's your duty as well to do this, which means your wife is a report card of you. So if you are complaining about your wife, you are telling how stupid you are. According to the Bible, you should have the ability to cleanse, to sanctify, and you are not telling how dirty your wife is. She's a report card of you. So you are rather telling us who you are. Now look at the next point.
Cleanse her with the washing of water by the word.
So you don't change a woman just by insulting her. You change her by what? The word of God. Look at the final point. That's what the point I want.
That he might present her to himself.
So you need to present your wife.
Church.
So any way you are discussing your wife, that's how you are presenting. And she's, like I said, she's a report card of you. So there are many useless husbands nowadays.
I have my first call on the line. Hello, good morning, Alisa.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, where are you calling us from, please?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Hello, yes. Please, good morning.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
Please, sorry, but I actually called to talk to your marketing manager.
Oh.
Okay.
Then please speak to our producer, okay? Speak to our producer on that. All right. The phone lines are still active, by the way, in case you want to call and join the conversation about what you're talking about, infertility in marriage, and you want to share your experiences also with us and how you're able to go through that and be successful at it. Please give us a call right now. The phone lines are active. Alternatively, you can join us on our WhatsApp line, which is on your screen. Just pick it up and send your messages to us, and then we'll be able to do that. Let me engage you now. Yeah. So, people who come to you often seek the help for changing their fertility problems, and then probably they leave you. Unfortunately, they weren't able to help. They get the help from the pastor. do they come back to you and tell you anything? Like, or how do you feel as a medical practitioner?
Okay, regarding health issues, it could, like there and here and there. It happens all the time. Okay. People go to ministers, reverend ministers or pastors or even malams, and it doesn't work and they come to us. Mm-hmm. People also from us go there, so it's not an issue. Okay. Now, the thing is, depending on the person's psyche, to understand that what he or she is in for, there's a process the person must go through. There are some who are not ready due to some other circumstances that are in the situation. They will not be ready to even, do you tell them, they say, yes, I've heard you, and yes, I will do it. But he goes out there and do different things. Even the medication you give, the advice you give, he may not even follow. At the end of the day, he may not get the results. Okay. All right. So when it happens, you don't have any other choice than to move. Sometimes when even as a couple, when I begin to see signs that you may not listen to what I said, then I say, okay, if you go to church or whatever, whether you are in the mosque, just go to one of your heads, speak to him, and maybe he will get you much to understand the intensity of what you are going through, and then you look for the solution. Awesome. So whichever, whether back and forth, it's all good.
I think we have a call on the line. Okay. Andrew is on the line. Good morning, Andrew.
Okay.
Unfortunately, we lost Andrew on the line.
I have few WhatsApp messages here. Says that I'm watching the program and I have the same problem. Can you text us and tell us the problem? Then our guests will answer that. This person says that Lord bless you people for educating us. Political issues are taunting us. You don't also tell us the whole truth. Thank God for this program. At least it will save lives and marriages. Thank you as well, and keep sticking and staying with us here on Healthy Morning. Okay.
All right. So let me come back to Rev. So after all these, the couple are unable to keep breath. Probably they've gone to Dr. Jikunu several times and able to help, and then they come to you, pray for them. They have the child. Is there an extra counseling after that?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
what would that help for?
Counseling in general, counseling is like acquiring knowledge. We don't, you see the are you getting it? That's one people should know. There are people who assume that counseling, like marital counseling, should just be done before them. No, I always tell people, even in my counseling, I recommend post-marital counseling more. Because most of it, before you come, you're already unsure, you're very passionate about yourself. So most of the things we tell you, you may not even absorb them. When you now enter after 6 months and things that begin to hate you, you now begin to remember. So as there to me some time ago said, life is lead forward, but understood backwards. Most of the things we tell you, you know, may understand, but as you are moving forward, you will okay. So yes, when you come for counseling after the child, like I said, try to settle you, help you to now pray with that understanding. And let's also say this, sometimes we even, if you're a good pastor, you should understand, like I said, we operate in different levels. So as much as I'm doing the spiritual thing, I should encourage the person. That's why I'm a great person who can treat people with certain sickness in their churches. I'm praying for you.
Okay, Rev, we'll come to that. Let me go to also and then speak with Andrew. Good morning, Andrew. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Andrew. Please go ahead.
Please, I'm calling from Osu.
Okay.
I was the one who tested the diagnosis of varicocele.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask, the doctor said you could have other options other than the surgery. And I wanted to ask the duration in which one can be cured. Can it take more than 3 months to 6 months without the surgery? That's what I wanted to ask. And again, I want to know the exact place that I can locate the doctor.
Okay, so it's asking about the alternative. This you mentioned the correction and the duration. Is it 3 months?
How long it can take?
Okay, the thing is, one, I don't know the state of what you are talking about. Of course, I know the disease you are talking about, but we have in various stages. So after the show, let's talk, and then I'm sure we can be able to help you. Of course, as I said earlier, you can. That is, surgery is one decision. There are alternatives of solving the same problem, which I believe I can help with. So after then we can talk.
So maybe Andrew, you want to leave your number or contact with our producer so that he can get back to you after the show.
Okay, this message is to you. It says that is it the responsibility of the church to choose a spouse or the biological parents?
To choose who?
A spouse. Is it the responsibility of the church?
We did this education. Even with Adam, God never chose a wife for Adam. From the beginning of life till now, God has never chosen a wife. So it is wrong for any church to choose. We can guide.
And more. That's
it confirms It confirms the Bible. But the Bible never said for lack of prayers or lack of paying time and people pray. For lack of knowledge. My people are those of us calling ourselves the church. We are destroying people because we lack knowledge. Even Adam, God did not choose a wife. So therefore, don't choose a spouse or a wife or anybody, but rather you can guide. That's our job. Even in marriage, in Ghana here, we don't have church marriage. You know.
Oh, really?
Let's marriage that we have.
Hold on, that's all for me. I'll come back to you. I have a caller. Hello, Kobe from Denta. Good morning.
Yeah. I think I texted earlier that I also have the same problem.
Okay.
Okay, he just texted.
Yeah, he said he had a problem, but he didn't mention the problem, so I'm sure he's calling.
Okay, all right, thank you. All right,
so he's calling to tell us the problem. Okay, Kobe, please go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I tested earlier that I also have the same problem. Mine started from 2011 and up to now. Usually, I have a girlfriend, but sometimes when I'm with my girlfriend, I feel like
the sound is a bit muffled.
So I tried this several years, and I'm trying to stay away from it, and I don't know how to do.
Kobe, could you reposition yourself? We are struggling to hear what you're saying.
Like, I mean, you didn't get me right.
Yes, can you come again?
Because I said I entered today's masturbation since 2011 up to date, and it's not like I don't have girlfriend. I have girlfriend, but I feel like doing the masturbation than having the sex with my girlfriend.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a medical and a spiritual problem.
All right. Thank you. I think we heard you. So.
Yeah. So I think is it Michael?
It's a Kobe, right?
Kobe. Yeah, Kobe. I think it's a medical problem, and also maybe if you have I don't know whether you have that heart to be able to discuss with your pastor. But what I would say is that it's a medical problem. Now, and also the reason is because you have a girlfriend is not a legit. So you can't have her the way you want. But if you think you are of age, please just go to the house, did an announcement, let them know you, as I said. Any small thing or whatever simple that you can do so that the parents will know you. That will make you, mind, settle that this is somebody I'm moving with. So that if anything happens. Now, the reason why you are doing masturbation, isn't it masturbation he's talking about? No. Isn't it masturbation?
Yeah, masturbation.
Yes.
So it's already from 2011 till date.
That's 11 years. Yes. So it means you can't stop. You need somebody to help you. Medically, you need somebody to, and I think psychologically also, you need somebody to be able to help you. You can't do it. If you don't even take care, you get married and you still continue. And that will be a disaster that you can ever imagine. That you're in marriage. I know pastor will continue, but you're in marriage and you're still, man, that's another disaster. Because if you don't take care, you do it the day you die. And the time will even come that kafra will cut in that is straight away. Yes. That's what will happen.
So I cut you off. We're about to say
so I was saying
marriages be.
Yeah, so in Ghana, when you check, we have just 3 marriage recognized. So you have the my customary marriage, Mohammedan marriage, and ordinance.
Okay.
We don't have church marriage. So what the church what the church has done, what the church has done, I was doing this church, what the church has done that we have combined to the customary. Each one is this one is own. That's why the moment you marry a customary, you can register it. The moment you move up to ordinance, we've cancelled the customary.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we don't need to do customary before the ordinance. No, that's why with the ordinance, any mature person can just vote. You don't even need your parents to be there.
Okay.
You just need a witness, somebody to witness your marriage. That's why to the people you marrying dots and the rest. All we need is you are old enough. Come with a witness. You don't even need your parents.
Okay.
2 people can just work and wait till married. But we, the church, we've done it. What we believe we come from environment, culture. So we have combined the two, the customary and the ordinance, to protect. Because the ordinance, at least from the Bible, elected because of one man, one wife. So we've combined the two. But church don't have marriage.
Thank you.
Thank you. Establish. Please hammer on the masturbation bits. How do you advise?
Yeah. So you see, like I said, all this is out in the mind. For everything you do, like I said, so with the mind, like I said, the mind cut across. He mentioned psychological. Now I mentioned the 4 levels. So every condition, you can look from a spiritual perspective, psychological perspective, medical, and sociological. You understand? So it can even be one of the kind of friends and activities he does. He lets me be watching pornographic materials, and this is what. So anytime you watch it, you have to go and perform it. So you need to now look at sociological aspect. What are the things that you're interacting with? So if you have pornographic materials on your phone, you need to start deleting all of them. So with every condition, from where I sit, you need to look at it from this all levels. If you can't help people. So but to see where we are now is that we are fighting among ourselves. When the pastor is looking at spiritual, he's looking at medical, and we want to prove ourselves. No. The mind cut across. So with every condition, if you want to help somebody, check the 4 levels. You understand? So I'm surprised upon this actually. My brother also mentioned only 2 and leave that.
The reason why I didn't mention, I know you tackled that. So, and
there are some people, all you need to do is even just move them. That's why you want to break addiction. The first thing to tell the person out of the environment. You look at sociology.
1 minute each. Any advice to couples going through?
Oh, wait. Couples, what I'll tell them is that, like I said, lack of knowledge, my people. So we are anxious, we are depressed, that we are lacking certain knowledge. Therefore, we need to seek for proper counseling. And if you need counseling too, you don't just follow me on all the social media platforms. The name is Apostle Thomas Kusiapia on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok. Apostle Thomas Kusiapia. Let's meet today.
Sorry, Doctor. I'll change your positions.
Yes, what I'll say is that infertility is real. And it doesn't start when you start experiencing, but it starts when you've not even experienced it at all. So as a young lady, as a young man, please knows that there are days ahead of you that you'll be battling with certain things that you may not understand. And one of them may be infertility. So the activities that you are running, from food to friends to where you sleep and the job you are doing and everything about your life, be serious about it, because when the kind of food you consume it late and everything, it will affect you. And if for a month 24 we don't have rest, it's not going to affect you. So please, fertility doesn't start from when you are getting to 25 to 30 when you don't expect to have fertility. It starts right from day one, when you recognize that you are a man or you are a woman. You work towards it before you get to your whether 20 or 30s. So you can also contact Hstv Herbal Clinic. We're at Medina Race Junction, just opposite between the Glory Oil and then the EP chair. You can contact me on 054 80 610 054 80 610. Hstv, we're also on the Google Map, we're also on the Facebook for now.
Okay. All right. Also, you didn't mention your number.
Let's meet on
Facebook. Okay with that.
No, with social media, we can chat, let's meet on
Facebook. All right, thank you very much. So, these amazing men were here to support us, discuss a very interesting conversation about infertility in marriage. Reverend Kusi Apia happens to be a counselor, he's a church leader, he's an economist, he's a security analyst, everything put together. And he was here to grace us with that conversation. Of course, Dr. Jikunu also operates with Hstv Herbal Clinic at Medina. He gave you the information earlier. So thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us. We appreciate your time and all. We'll wrap up the segment for today. And then coming up is JK is going to be seated on Health Entertainment, have a conversation with the man Kwame Zagi. So stick around for that. There's more right here on Hstv. We'll be right back.
My name is Dr. Andrew Akutu. I'm the Managing Director of Hstv Funeral Homes. Hstv Funeral Homes was established to provide modern, state-of-the-art and comprehensive funeral services. If a family lost a loved one, everything became a do-it-yourself affair. But Hstv Funeral Homes was established so that everything that has to do with the funeral, from the time a person dies until they are buried, can all be done and made available in one place. And at all time, to emphasize the importance of treating the body of the deceased with the utmost respect and dignity. Hstv Funeral Homes provides any and all services that have to do with funerals. Hstv Funeral Homes will recover the body from wherever the death occurred, embalm the body using the most modern techniques. We will keep the body or store the body in our state-of-the-art refrigeration system for as long as the family desires. Nearer the time of the funeral, we will prepare and dress the body up for the funeral. We provide transportation, namely ambulances and hearses, to convey the body from one place to the other as the family may wish. We also provide on our premises the services of an interdenominational chapel where the services can be conducted. We also have the only modern crematory in Ghana at the moment, which services not only Ghana but also Côte d'Ivoire. We also have a cemetery, one of the only 2 privately managed cemeteries in Accra at the moment. All it takes, literally, is one telephone call and perhaps 2 visits to our premises for everything to do with the funeral to be arranged for. There are several funeral plans on the market. Most of them are based on the premise that when the insured person passes away, the insurance company will pay an agreed sum of money to the bereaved family. Often enough, the sum paid to the family may not be sufficient to cover the basic needs the family requires. That is where the Prudential Dignity Plan comes into its own and is significantly different, because what the Prudential Dignity Plan ensures are the services that will be required, so that it does not matter whether 5 years or 10 years after the insurance was taken, those services will be provided regardless of the fact that the costs may have gone up. Once you are insured, your services are covered. It doesn't matter how long before the death occurs.
Dignity Farewell Plan from Prudential Life Insurance, in partnership with Hstv Funeral Homes, is providing families with over a decade of experience and peace of mind when it comes to saying goodbye to your loved ones.
Would you like to own a home, start a business, provide seed money, or a good education for your children? The Pro Wealth Plan answers all of life's questions. This is Ekwa 9. She wants to be an engineer in future. Her parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hammond, plan to give her the best education but don't want to be unnecessarily burdened when she's ready for university in 10 years. Do you know how much it will cost Ekwa to go to a local private university or university abroad in the next 10 years? Ekwa's parents have signed up to a Pro Wealth Plan. They pay affordable monthly premiums that ensures they are able to fund Ekwa's university fees and living expenses. When she's ready for university, Prudential will pay the maturity benefit and her parents can enjoy free insurance cover for an additional 5 years. In the unfortunate event that her parents pass away, Prudential will pay over 200% of the sum assured, which is 100% immediately, 10% annually to keep Ekwa in her current school, and 100% at maturity for her chosen university. This means that Prudential Life has guaranteed Ekwa's education regardless of life's uncertainties. The Pro Wealth Plan also covers a spouse or partner up to the same sum assured. With over 26 million customers, 24,000 employees globally, and over 170 years experience, you and your family can have peace of mind knowing that you are in safe hands. Whatever your financial goals are, the Pro Wealth Plan has the answers to life's questions. Call us today and let Prudential secure your future.
Yeah, Zaggy. Mr. Kumi Benkuai. Lava Keta school boys, one. We are my men say for kakafa palm so. Nene kwesi. Na men kama sem. Penny for sarine pankasa. Ankure unu na daye dede. Sa wa ubo papa ichesa so dia obi ansomoda. Na me sedie na me huni. Kola nke to ebi su drama so. Ye didi asra ye furu so basa. Eni ebo ye ho samrane. Ajume ye betu yo ye ni ye bia to so na machi aboswe. Wona o ya kena fa. Wona o ya godwa fa. Wona o ya kena fa. Wona o ya godwa fa. Obi nsusu o ya high life fa. Obi nsusu o ya high life fa. Obi nsusu o ya Martin Luther King. Obi nsusu o ya Queen Elizabeth. Ayamu sa grobi na ye diana. Ayamu sa grobi na ye bwana ye di na ye di. Munye di fefe for munye ko fefe for 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 wona o ya kena fa wona o ya godwa fa wona o ya kena fa wona o ya let's start never. Yeah. Every mother then let you trim you on him. What do you me do? I chimney. Me show any man a many of it. I should make a woman dance. Yassi body going up by Intasini, so front in my ear, blame you. Men to tune now one free me, sir. Is he come for two? Many against the fire, yeah, and Tijayo, don't Mugalam say. Many of my depending on me, I want the pain, I'm on to see. When I put it on you, you put it on me. When I put it on you, you put it on me. When I put it on you, you put it on me. When I put it on you.
Alright, so welcome back. Healthy Morning is still on right here on Hstv. JK, I'm seated. We're going straight into the world of entertainment. You know, we're stepping into the weekend, so we need to calm ourselves and all that. So we have in the studios today Kwame Zagi. He's on my seat. We're going to talk to him. But before I do that, I went on his page and I saw a caption which, you know, really caught my attention. He made mention, he said, a music mind never rests because every activity is a melody. Kwame, this is coming from you.
Yeah.
Good morning, you're welcome.
Thank you.
I think I've been following when you post things out there, the captions you give to them, you know, the inspirations behind them. You talk really deep. It's quite amazing. We are humbled having you today on the show too.
Thank you.
Nice
it's my
one.
pleasure.
Nice one.
Yeah.
I hope everything is cool.
Everything is fantastic.
Great.
Yeah.
So, you know, before we came on today, I was talking about just the two of us.
Yeah.
I think that's the song I remembered when my producer sent, you know, the flyer saying Kwame was coming. I just had to go check out. I was like, okay, so he's the one behind the song.
Yeah, man.
It's been amazing. Let's run through your journey. How many years in the industry now?
We surfaced around 2010. That's when I brought my debut album with a Yanko Tom. So it's been like a decade and two.
Nice one.
So like maybe I can say 12 years now. Of course, 2010 and 2022.
Yeah.
When you put them together, it's like 12 years.
That's all. Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's how long we've been around.
You've been in the system.
Yeah.
And you're doing well. Your music are still making waves. When we go on social media or let me say the music platforms, we see all these songs and we're really appreciating it and all that. So 12 years in the music scene now.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some challenges you face. I know you've had some ups and downs and all that.
Yeah, for sure. Coming up as an artist who doesn't belong to a bigger record label, you know, there are challenges that, you know, pertain to that. And let me see, it's been rough and smooth with it. You know, when we're coming in, we didn't understand the business and how to go about it. So we faced a couple of challenges. But then growing in it gives you a broader understanding, and then knowing your way through. So it becomes like, part of growth. Even the challenges that we used to see as a bigger challenges, it has now become like part of growth.
Part of growth. Nice one. That's really amazing. So you in 2012, 2013 thereabouts, I think you bounced back. I know you lost your manager, your financier, someone who was really investing in your craft.
Everything. Yeah.
How was it for you then that time when you lost your manager?
Yeah, it was such a big blow. I never experienced before, and it's something that really pushed me back. Yeah, because I came in from nowhere. He was, maneuvering me through all the sectors, and then all of a sudden,
it goes off.
It goes off. So I became stuck in the middle, because at that time I was just almost getting to the top, and then it happened. So it was something that I didn't know where. I didn't have the connect to just continue. So it was something that, it really pushed me back. So I had to start all over again and crawl and build my connect and start relating to people and then get my way through, and we're here.
Nice one. That brings me to the question. Anytime we have artists who are signed on record labels, and most of the time they feel relaxed, they don't do anything, and we have the managers and the record label doing everything for them, and it gets to a point where they want to go solo, they want to go independent, and they really struggle to pick up again. Do you think you being on a record label, you not doing anything, having the record label doing everything for you, made it quite difficult for you when you were alone, when you lost your manager? Would you say that was a factor?
Yes, it would be. Out there, every artist, belong to a certain label. Because definitely you're an artist. You can do all alone by yourself. You understand? So definitely you need a bigger label. There are a whole lot of things. It is our sector that's a lot of things that doesn't really work for musicians. That now you see a lot of musicians trying to do everything by themselves, trying to be their own executive producers, go into the studio and then to try to, find ways to, push their craft.
But I wouldn't cut you. Don't you think it's a plus when you, as an artist, you're able to maneuver your way through, the business side of music, so in case anything happens in the future, you would be able to stand in?
Yes, if left with me alone, I would say every musician should be able to finance his or her own career. Because when you are under a record label, let me use myself as an example. When I was coming, I had this record label, and then everything was done by them.
The record label.
I will be at home, and then my video is being played on air. My music is on radio and stuff. I will come in on an interview. They will just bring closer for me to choose which one to wear and all that, and all not from my pocket. Right. So I was getting all those privileges. And then, all of a sudden,
everything cut off.
It ceased. So, how am I going to start? So, every musician that is on record label, the record label does basically everything for them. When the record label is not there anymore, those people struggle
a lot.
That's why we see if a musician parts ways with a record label, you see them struggling, and they don't shoot out, so they get a stronger hand. Yes, so that's how it is.
So leaving the record label, it quite affects, let's say, the artist if you're not able to stand in for yourself.
Yes, if you're not, financially strong, that you can finance or you can use to push your stuff, because music business, you have to back it with money.
Exactly.
Yes, it is a money making. It is gold, but you have to push it with money. Without money, you can luck alone can do this job. Yes. So you need to be strong in
you know, we are saying all these things to encourage people watching, young and upcoming artists, you know, so they know how to go about things. So during that period when you lost your manager, now you're off the record label, how were you able to finance yourself, you know, bouncing back into the game?
Yeah, it was such a difficult time for me. That period, I call it as a trial period. I mean, was really difficult. It was really difficult, trust me, because at that time, I thought the music would do everything for me. So my focus on everything was on the music. I wasn't doing any business aside. I was just focusing every day in studio and stuff. So I was just stuck like that.
Just that. But you know, on the record label, you had a female also on the record label who was doing gospel.
Yes.
Didn't you have a point where you wanted to go like, okay, I'm going to do gospel music?
No. See, you know, live stages. Yeah. You from one stage and you get to another one, and you get to another one, and you get to another one. Sometimes I felt that, you know, when you are not winning, you hear a lot of words. Exactly. When you are not winning, a lot of people will tell you what to do, thinking that is right.
That's the best option, yeah.
Right. So there were a lot of people trying to tell me, no, Charlie, that's in there. Charlie, you should stop the do gospel. You know, God wants you to do this. God wants you to do that. Like he was hearing a lot of voices. So at a point, I decided that, God, Charlie, that's in there. You know where my passion lies.
Yeah.
Now let's try and do gospel. Right, thinking that is, but I tried going that sector, but no, I realized that no, that's not where my calling is.
Your calling is. But I know you don't believe in the Bible.
Why are you saying that?
Yeah, because you clearly stated that when you follow what was in the Word of God, Charlie, it looks like your life is.
No, but I never said that. But what I said is there are a lot of contradictions in the Bible. So when you're trying to use it, I mean, because in life there are basic things that you just have to apply. Work and then eat.
Work and eat.
Yes, work before you eat. If you are not working, you can't eat. It is not about the Bible. Don't go and steal. If you steal and you are caught, you are either going to be killed or maybe going to be jailed. Don't do those things. They are basic things that you have to do in life. Don't rely on the Bible. If the Bible is just a book, right, don't rely on it too. There are certain things you just have to know. Somebody's wife, don't go and chase. I mean, be in your lane and just do it. And this is life.
I don't want us to argue. This is what we're with that. So now let's come back to you bouncing back into the industry. I know the Mr. Lover EP was you bouncing back and everything. Let's talk about fan base. Comparing when you came in back in 2010 and you bouncing back with that EP, how was the response for you?
Yeah, you know, when we came in, let's say 10 years ago, social media wasn't that strong as it is now.
Okay.
Yeah, so we couldn't even see who follow us, who is liking our vibe, and who is contributing to whatever we're doing. Right. Yeah. But now we can say that I have 10,000 people liking my vibe. I can say maybe I have this number of people that I know they are there. When I post something, they're gonna see.
They're liking it.
Right. So coming back at this time around, and the response to my vibe, especially the new single, the Galamsey song, it's amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing, and it's like, yo, I mean, you could see that people really miss me, and they really want me back in the game.
Nice. Yeah. One. And I know you're doing high life, and you made mention that not everybody can do high life. Looking at the current setting now, you know, the Afro beats, the Afro pop, aren't you pressured to switch from high life to do that?
You see, I think with the high life kind of conversation, we need to have an education about it to understand what really is high life and who is doing high life and who is not doing high life.
Okay. Let's touch on it. What is high life? I want to, let's break it down for people to understand.
I can't say much about that, but what I can say is, we're Ghanaians, and our music is our music. We all know our music, because we grow with it. It's in our blood, so we can easily identify that this is high life music. Growing up, we're fortunate to listen to great high life music, the likes of the late Papa Jansen, A.B. Crento, and so on and so on. So we grow with their music, right? So we can easily say high life. But time has changed, but a lot of tones has been introduced, unlike the one we used to use way back. Now a lot of things, element has been modified. Right, so even if you are playing the same melody or the same yam ponsa, there are a lot of adages and stuff like makes it modern to suit our kind of generation. Right, so I think that is that fusion is now called Afropop. But to me, listening to them, I see no different from our high life music.
It's still the same.
It's still the same. The melody, the groove, and everything is still the same. Maybe they sing in English. That makes it Afro.
Okay. So, and you mentioned again that not everybody can do high life music, but now you are saying, listening to all these songs, the sound, the tune, and everything, you feel is the same spirit.
Okay.
So who's a high life artist?
Okay. Let me put it this way. Over here, that is to me listening to those songs, I know it's high life. I feel it is high life because of the elements that is in it. Okay. So this is it. High life music is deep. Yes, you need to be deep before you can do high life music. Right. Me saying no, everybody can do high life. I don't want to say those that are doing high life or those that are doing Afropop are not deep. No. Calling it a high life, that's the problem right now.
For you.
Right. So the songs most of them are doing, I will classify them high life. But they are not classifying it as high life. Right. Yes. So it's not everybody who can do it.
That's amazing. So you should be deep before you would be able to do high life music.
Of course.
Nice one. So moving away from that, let's talk about you in the scene now. Mr. Loverboy came in, the Lover EP. Sorry, and you were saying the response has been great. People missing you, getting the numbers and all that. So what's in the pipeline again aside that EP?
Okay. EP was just an introduction, and for me to, bounce back again. But I still have an album. That's the second album. The EP is about has 6 songs, so almost an album. So I'm still in the studio, working with another set of music out. Yes. So I'm promoting the EP now. Yes, and so I have a couple of activities that are coming up, and even tonight I'm playing at Flip Bar. Osu.
A live band.
Live band. Yes, I'm just playing the Mr. Lover EP Unplugged, and it's going to be something else. So there are a lot of activities coming around the Mr. Lover EP.
Sure. So I still want us to touch on marketing. How do people get to you? Maybe when you want to listen to your song, where do we go to your social media platforms?
Yes, right now everything has been digitalized, and so I'm on all the platforms, digital platforms. So you can find me on iTunes, you can find me on Apple Music, YouTube, Spotify, Boomplay, all the digital platforms. So you just type Kwame Zagi, and lots of my songs will pop up. And also on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok, and everywhere. So
everywhere.
Yeah, I'm very active on social media as well.
Making use of it.
Yes, just a message and we are there.
Yeah, there to go.
Yeah.
Nice. What's your relation with Kumikita? Are you still cool?
That guy, I mean, he did in somewhere. We meet to a demon somewhere.
Has he still not apologized to you for what he did?
Oh no, I mean that's what I'm saying. Everybody they doing one thing. So I mean, we did.
You did.
Yeah.
What he
I don't get any issue with anybody.
So when he reached out to you that he wants a collaboration, are you going to jump?
Why not? We're musicians.
So you would make
No. See, you don't mix business with pleasure, right?
Okay.
No, your sentiment. I mean, like your emotions.
Emotions.
Yeah, you don't mix business with that. When it is business, when it is good and it's going to benefit the both of us, why not? We should let it happen, right? So even as he did something and I didn't like, doesn't mean he's an enemy.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're still business partners. We can still when there's a song that both of us can jump on, of course we can work on. Just for the fans. And music is forever. So we both can eat.
You both can eat.
Yes.
So we will be wrapping up very shortly. So let's talk about the Ghana Music Awards. What do you think about award schemes here in Ghana?
Charlie, sometimes this thing, this question is something I don't want to talk. I don't want to be talking about awards.
You don't want to talk about awards?
No, I don't feel comfortable talking about awards. No, yeah.
You think they've not been fair to you in your stay in there?
No. I wouldn't say that. If you are saying, then that's fine.
Oh no, not from you. You should be able to tell me because you've released hits upon hits and your features and collaboration and everything.
Yeah, man. But
they've not been fair to you. Kwame Zagi,
you are saying that. Are you saying?
No,
you're asking me.
You are trying to be tricky about answering the question, but we want to still push it now. Why is it that you don't care about the awards?
Yeah, not that I don't care. I care about it. You know.
So what do you care? What exactly do you care about the awards?
It's Ghana Music Awards. That's the only prestigious awards that we have here. And that is what, I mean, we all look up to. Every musician wish to have an award from VJMA.
Yeah.
Yes, so that's what I care about.
In relation to you and your music?
In my music? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying I am not the award kind of artist that I produce to aim at. No, this year, my song should win an award. So I channel all my energy towards that. I am working. I am a musician. Music is a lifetime business. Right. So if it doesn't happen maybe this year, maybe in the next future, I'm going to win the artist of the year. That's why I don't talk about it, whether bad or good. Let it keep it as it is. Right. And keep doing
Would your assessments about those who have won it so far be relatively okay? You think they deserve what they've won so far?
Okay.
Even if you don't go too far, the recent one, you think those who
Okay, what I can say is I'm a musician, I'm not a critic.
Okay.
So I'm only a musician, like I'm an artist. So if something, I only preach about when something is not right in my sector, when the country is not going the way we think it's supposed to go. I'm a musician, I have a mouthpiece, I can say about it. But I don't criticize my fellow musicians, what they deserve to do and what they don't deserve.
Not necessarily you criticizing, but sometimes, we can have someone win and go like, oh bro, where do you deserve it? Or say the man.
Of course, they know better. They have bored. They have they know what they are doing. So they decide before they give award to any artist. They have sat down, analyzed, deduct whatsoever. They've done all their checks and they know that the person deserves. Whatever that you say doesn't come in. Right. So if I say Kofi Mensah, that was, I mean, doesn't deserve, he was not supposed to win this and this, that, and that.
Anyway, in your earlier conversations, you mentioned the fact that when you entered into the music scene, you thought it was all about the music. But until you lost your manager or management, you realized that you have to diversify and find other things. What is Kwame Zagi doing besides music now?
I do a couple of, business. Buy and sell. Yeah, buy and sell kind of this, just to, put that stuff. Okay. And it is really going well.
It's helping you.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right. Okay,
that's great. I think after the show, I'm going to take your talk because
some serious research.
So we're finally wrapping up. Do you have anything to tell your fans, your family, your friends watching now?
Yes, I want to say a very big thank you for being with me all these while. It's been a very good journey. Yeah, and coming back again, the reception is amazing. Tonight, I want to see all my friends and families at Flip Bar Osu. We're jamming Mr. Lover EP Unplugged, live band settings. Come through and let's have fun. It's Friday actually, and it's month end.
Yeah.
What up?
Social media handle just in case.
Yes, Facebook Kwame Zagi, Twitter Kwame Zagi, now the one account. Instagram Kwame Zagi _ and TikTok Kwame Zagi. Everywhere I'm active. Yeah, so just a message and we are there.
So we're really humbled having you on the show today.
Sure.
Keep the fire burning.
Thank you. It's my pleasure as well to be here.
Yeah. All right. So viewers, this is where we wrap it all up. It's been an amazing week.